All right, how's it going? Welcome to Ultimate Fight Clan. Today I've got with me Paul. Paul, how's it going?
Great. Good to see you, Steve. Good to
Yes,
be
mate.
here,
Now I
mate.
like yours. Yours there had a little bit of a, you know what I mean? You
Oh,
added a little bow in there with yours there. Well, yeah. Wait a minute. All
it's the
right,
bit of
okay.
discipline that's kicked in over the years.
Okay, yeah, okay, that's fair enough. Well, we like that discipline that's kicked in over the years. That means that there could be some real martial arts chats. Wait a minute before we do that. You've got a tea bag hanging out of yours. What's that? A green or a jasmine? What we
This
saying?
is gunpowder green tea, the strong stuff. This
Oh, gunpowder. Right.
gunpowder.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Project A business going on. Listen, mate, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it. I've been wanting to chat to you for ages, and now you're here, and that is the best thing. So thanks very
Yeah.
much. I appreciate it.
Oh, thanks very much for inviting me. As you know, I've been watching all your podders for since the very beginning, and they're just the best, mate. So
Hey,
yeah, love
well,
it.
I'll tell you what. I'll start there because I have to say that these people in this kung fu business, they're pretty amazing. And I've said it before about a number of you. And you're another one of them. I mean, straight away he said there from day one, look how brilliant you've been, look how supportive you've been, look how nice you've been. Now, considering I was chatting about Chan at the time and Snake and Cranes, and I knew there's going to be people out there that, experts and stuff, and people that are really into this stuff, you being one of them. I knew there was going to be people like you out there, but look how nice you was when I actually saw you in the flesh. You came over to me and said that you'd been watching those Snake and Cranes. So thanks for watching them or whatever, and thanks for letting me know. It was actually unbelievable because it ain't long ago, but it's still quite a while ago. As in, I've
Yeah.
done a lot of different stuff since then, but that was a real passion project, deep dive kind of thing, and it's turned into Podder's channel now.
Well,
loads of blokes coming on, but yeah, thanks for that, mate.
and that was my first exposure to your channel was the Snake and Crane videos. I got sent a link. Somebody called Will Blaik, you may know him, William. He sent me a WhatsApp link saying, "Paul, you need to check out this Ultimate Fight Clan. He's just done like a 9-part episode on Snake and Crane, and it's really, really detailed. You've got to check it out." And I got this link about midday, and I whacked on the first video, and it was like Netflix. I just binged the whole lot. It's pretty much one sitting. It's great.
Well, look, it was made for somebody, and and there you go. You're the one. So, but that's nice
Yeah.
of Will as well. I do know Will. Thanks very much, Will, for sending it round and sharing it. Because I mean, he could have sent it for other reasons, like check this crap out, but he didn't. According to
No,
you, he
very
said it was quite
complimentary.
good. So look, thanks. That was a lot of time and effort. Should never really have been broken down. I ended up breaking it down into 15 parts, but you know what it's like. It was early days. I had people in my ear, you see, telling me no one's gonna watch that 5 hours. Because that's what I said. I said, oh, I've just recorded this
Yeah.
thing, but it's like 5 hours. No one's gonna watch that. You need to break it down. And I think it was the right thing to do at the time because there was people that I knew, so family members and stuff that never would have given it the time of day because it was so long. So bite sizing it like that was the right thing to do then, but I wouldn't do that again. Now it's just whatever length it is, it is. I wouldn't do that again.
Well, I've got to say, I think I
Cool.
even dipped in Steve and watched them a couple of times, so I don't think I'm even a one viewer on them. I double dipped.
Well, listen, brilliant. Listen, I'll have to start making covers for them or different thumbnails
Yeah.
and whatever. Yeah.
Well, can I just say as well, mate? I mean, like we talk about, and in your previous podcast, you've mentioned about the community of people and how you meet them going to these events and bits and bobs. But I mean, even just platforms like this. I mean, you take for example that Snake and Crane pod as you done with your cousin Grant.
That's right.
So, bear in mind, I've never met Grant before in my life, but after watching them whole, them all them videos, you do build a bit of a connection. You feel like it feels like I know this guy. It feels like I know
Mm,
him just as much as I know you, and I never met any of you at that point. You just sort of build
right.
because you're feeling the same things. You're watching the same stuff, and it's just that instant connection. So it's all good.
Well, I appreciate that. All of your kind words. You've interacted from day one. Actually, like I said, in the flesh. Then you invited me to your Jackie Chan appreciation group, which I totally appreciate. And you appreciation group, yeah, double appreciation. That's all right. It's English. We speak how we want round here. So I appreciate that loads. And the fact that you share them round and tell people about it, this is brilliant. And you don't need to be doing stuff like that. So thanks a lot. I really, really do appreciate all your support. Thank you. Well,
Welcome.
I won't say too much because I'll end up in tears. You know what I'm like. And you probably know that by now as well. You're probably starting to pick up on these things. This and actually, I will say that. I'm not saying other people don't pick up on it, but you tell me stuff. So I remember once you said you like the emotional connections that come up in these podders and stuff. And although that isn't on purpose, it is totally natural and organic, if you like, and it just happens. Um, Sometimes I think about those things and go, "Oh, I've got the ability to edit this stuff out. I'm showing a bit of rawness here, but I've kept it in because it's real." And when someone
Mm,
like yourself comes back and says you've picked up on those things and that you like it or whatever, then it makes me think I've made the right decision because it can be a little revealing sometimes.
sure.
So thanks for letting me know that it's all right to do to do cries on the podders. Yeah, much
Yes.
more, and I'm going to be doing it again. But it's nice to know that someone does pick up on those things. I think sometimes I think, no, I hope no one picks up on that because I just want it to sort of come and go. But yeah, it, it
Well,
means that you know.
exactly, and that's what makes your channel unique. That's what makes you unique. Is you're prepared to have them chats. You're prepared to, look at a cover of a film and have a chat about it for 2 hours. And where else can you go and do that? Let's be honest. It's difficult, and it just comes natural. And yeah, it's all valid points. So I'm sat there watching these videos, the covers, and I'm thinking, "Oh, I'm thinking this. I'm feeling this about this cover. I want to say it." And then you mention it, and it's just, yeah, you're saying what we're all thinking.
Yeah, and obviously we'll do some vids like that between us, and then you can actually tell me for sure what you're thinking. But yeah, it's like this stuff. I mean, we love the stuff. There's no doubt about it. It's not brought on, and we don't chat about it to smash it in. But if it needs smashing up, and it needs, we've got to call it out for what it is sometimes. But it's what makes the stuff brilliant. These things, these covers with these weird things that don't have. I mean, I got one the other day, right? And we won't chat about it, obviously, but it's this
Ah,
Snake and
yes.
Crane version, right?
Oh,
Now,
yes.
I didn't have that one, so I got it the other day. I don't normally. I'm not really a new. I say new, a current merchandise pickup bloke. It's not that I don't
Mhm.
want the stuff or anything like that. It's just there's so much that I've had over the years that's just come by not particularly seeking it out. I did it all before. I'm old, right? So it all came before interwebs and eBays and all that stuff. So I think I had a much more exciting way of getting these things, and that's why sometimes
Yeah.
I feel like. So when I spoke about this the other day, this isn't. You know that this is Dragon Lord on VHS, right? You know, I know, and if people don't know, I can say this is Dragon Lord on VHS. But I know you're going to understand this. That's not. I'm already struggling already, right? That's not just Dragon Lord on VHS for me. Not for me, it isn't, right? That's got soul in it. It's a talisman version. Not going to be able to chat about it in full detail because we've been on for not very long and I'm already doing the emotional version. But there is a reason for that. Listen, I wouldn't have that if I ordered it off eBay now. It's
Sure.
impossible. I can't recreate that. That is a true, real, like Thor with his hammer. He's the only one who can pick it up. Yes, of course, physically, I know other people can pick this up, but it will not mean the same to somebody else as this particular version does to me.
Mm.
And I know that you know that.
Yes,
I know.
and I think one of the conversations I think we had when we first met, and I'm sure we were speaking about how certain movies can almost have a bit of a colour theme to them. That in our mind, when we think of that movie, we think of certain colours. So it could be that Snake and Crane, you might think of a primary blue and a red, a royal red and a primary blue. Fearless Hyena, I might think of a real vibrant green outside fight on the grass. A lot of green text used in the old tapes, red writing. So
Yeah.
these tapes, they've not only, as you've got, they've got a lot of sentimental in that, but they hold so much with it to the point that on a lot of the Chan films, I can even remember what the weather was like when I first watched some of these movies because I can associate, that feeling of having it for the first time, that tape, and what the weather was doing. It's the brain's a strange thing, mate. Powerful.
But yeah, very, very powerful, and it goes to show how that's why you think and you have that affinity with these films, that they're not just films to you. They are, you can reason it out and go, yeah, it's just a film, but it ain't. It's done something to you. It has. It's in there now. It's created that thing, whatever it is, that essence, that aura, that soul, however you want to, that spirit, however you want to say it, and that's why it ain't going nowhere. This is the
No,
that's it. That was
that's it.
it weren't well actually saying that, home wise, it was the first stop. The very first stop for that Dragon Lord was the video shop. Obviously, he never rented the box out. He just rented the tape out. I couldn't tell you how many times, but the first time that was available to leave that shop was in my hands, and I knew even then. Remember, I was a kid, right? And I knew then it ain't going nowhere. This ain't going nowhere, and it ain't gone nowhere, and it's still there.
It's never
So
going anywhere.
no, it's the last stop. That's it, right?
Brilliant. Yeah.
And I understand that you understand this stuff. So when I bought that Snake and Crane that I didn't have, that really was that really was for podders to go, Grant, I found another version of Snake and Crane that I didn't have. We can have a chat about the brilliant cover on it. That's why. But that tape, that one is just a tape. It's just another version of Snake and Crane. It's not the trans global Snake and Crane. It ain't that Snake and Crane. That's that Snake and Crane. So yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
brilliant.
so you totally understand where I'm coming from with this,
Absolutely.
and yeah, and that's why I was talking about this cover, which we're not going to go through, right? Because this is just your sort of
You sure?
introduction to this. But we can listen. We've got time, right? We built in time. We can chat about the cover, no problem, right? But
Yeah.
that cover, as crap as that cover is, I love it that it's crap. I don't. I'm not annoyed with it or anything like that. I love it that it's crap.
Yeah. Yeah. And do you know hold it up again, Steve?
It's got some green in it, so there's bits missing on
Right.
my screen.
So that's your
So
Snake and Crane, yeah? Snake and
that's
Crane
right. Yeah.
Architect.
Well,
That one is the last ever UK video release put out of that title. So you're holding on to the very last tape release of that film in the UK.
well, there you go. See, you have this excellent
There you go.
information, and I was looking at the back of it here to try and find out who released this, and I was none the wiser. Is the truth. I just had a look and went, "Well, who brought this out then?" And it kind of don't. It don't really say anything. It doesn't really give
Yeah.
me much.
It it was the last. I can't remember the company, but it was the last line of budget releases that they put out of some of the low ways. And I think, if memory serves me right, off the top of my head, I think they came out in about 2000.
Right. That was still
Yeah,
ages ago then. Yeah.
yeah, that year 2000.
It's even got a quote on it here from the Washington Post. So that was a strange idea to use a quote from that. It's a pretty good quote, though. In the pantheon of action heroes, there is only one true god, and his name is Jackie Chan. And I'm gonna say we've agreed it straight away. I mean, that's not the right one. That's not the
Yeah,
right one.
that's no.
But look, we understand that though, right? That
We
when
get
they
it.
brought that out in 2000, he's already known as Jackie Chan, i.e., version, and so
Yeah,
I get it. I know why it doesn't have that version on because it's brought out at a time when he's that
that's
version.
right.
So I get it.
They pumped them tapes out after the Rush Hour release.
Is
Rush
that
Hour
why?
Shanghai
Okay.
Noon. Yeah,
But I mean, what's that? Big Brawl, Rumble in the Bronx, and Snake and the Eagles. Is that what we're saying here? Is it?
You've got, it looks like the face at the very back is Big Brawl, Rumble in the Bronx, and then Snake and Eagle Shadow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And on the
Listen,
back, turn it around on the back, Steve. We might as
yeah.
well do. Let's do it. Let's do it. Rumble again.
Yeah, just a zoomed in version without the fist and the muscle business out. But there you go. To be discussed in more detail at some other stage. But
Exactly. We could do the full set of them.
I'd love to do the full set. Actually, the store I bought it off, he did have other ones. You see, and this is testament to what I was saying about the spirit versions. I don't have those versions, right?
Yeah.
And I saw some of the other ones. I don't think it would be all of them, but there were probably 4 or 5 others, and they weren't expensive. I mean, someone might go, they're bloody expensive for VHSs, but they were a fiver. So there's nothing wrong with the price.
Mm-hmm.
And I just looked at them and went, yeah, I know, but I don't need those other ones. And I think if I was loaded, I'd have just got them. I think so, right? Because the truth is, I did still want them, but there was a reason I got that one, right? Because I thought, no, I'm going to do something with that. I got enough stuff to chat about, I mean, hopefully I'll get through it all at some point, but I struggle to get this stuff out. So there's definitely enough already rather than adding. But
great.
you see, this is the thing though, right? So you understand the whole spirit stuff. And of course, I don't know what a description of you is really. I mean, a collector, I suppose, but it would have come from the love of Jackie Chan. So we might as well go there. It's a bit run of the mill, but let's find out what's going on. Let's find out why you're done by the Chan. What is it? Just the Chan? Is Chan the starter? Is Chan the bloke that started it? Was it other stuff? What happened? What's going on? Give me the reasons as to why you're Chan mad.
Why I am where I am.
That's it.
Probably similar to you, Steve, in many ways. So my first exposure was actually Bruce Lee. I was very young at the time. Very young. And one of our family friends, one of our neighbours, lent my dad some Bruce Lee VHS tapes. And I think Enter the Dragon probably been on TV. And I just started watching all the Bruce Lees. So chronological order: Big Boss, Fist of Fury, Way of the Dragon, Game of Death, Enter the Dragon.
Where did they come from?
So,
where did they come from? Where did you get them?
It was a neighbour. They were
A
videotapes.
neighbour
Yeah.
gave the tapes to the family next door, basically.
No, they were a family friend because I think some of my brothers went to school with some of their children and bits and bobs, and so there was a connection there. They were just neighbours over the road, and they lent my dad these Bruce Lee VHS tapes, and I just started watching them. And
I can't move on until I know you're only young, and you're still young now. You obviously haven't aged.
I'm old, Steve.
Yeah, but you don't look it. I mean, obviously, I don't know the difference because I've only seen this version. But that gunpowder tea might be doing its thing, so I'll have to get some of that. Yeah, have to get some of that. But before we move on, I must ask because I'll forget. You see, and something triggered there, and maybe you know, and maybe you don't know because obviously you were young at the time, so you probably don't know then. But you're older now, so maybe you asked, and maybe you haven't. So I've got to ask. They gave these Bruce Lee vids, to your dad. But why? Was it just loads of vids and there happened to be Bruce Lee's in there? Your dad into the Kungs? I mean, he might
Well,
be.
no, not really. My dad certainly enjoys them, but based on my experience of it, I've kind of then got my dad into it in a roundabout way for buying me the tapes. He then started to watch them. But to answer that question, I think I always enjoy. I don't know actually. I don't know what came first. I don't know whether I saw Karate Kid in the 80s and then that just spawned on, oh well, Paul really likes these films, and it kind of went from Karate Kid to maybe Bruce Lee's. I think that's probably the connection. Yeah.
And then, okay, you see this word probably. Yeah. Obviously, I don't want to hit anything that's could be sensitive here, but as long as your dad's still with us, then we can get rid of that probably word. and we could ask him why that neighbour thought he would take these Bruce Lee tapes, because he could have just gone, well, no, I don't want these, but he didn't. Maybe he took them in for himself. Maybe he took them in for you. You know, I don't know. Or for his kids, you know, he might have just said,
Yeah.
well, the kids will enjoy these, even though they had 18s on them, and you said you were young. But if he'd seen them before, then we know those 18s don't mean now. They don't mean now, do they? I mean, they don't deserve to be 18s, do they?
No, it was absolutely fine. Yeah. Yeah, I know you've covered that on previous podcasts. Yeah, yeah. So
But
I'll tell you what. For the next time, if we meet again and catch up again, I'll narrow my dad down for an answer on that one.
I like that. Yeah,
I'll test his memory. But yeah,
let's
so
see if we can find out.
yeah, so it was the Bruce Lee tapes. Watched all of them. Obviously, that was definitely the first time I had seen a film that was dubbed. Definitely the first time I'd seen a Chinese movie. Um, Definitely the first time I'd seen any kind of fighting film to that kind of caliber. Obviously, the Karate
Right.
Kid is a different story. Um,
Mm.
and it was just from that point, just something just clicked. And I remember going to then video shops, going shopping with my mum and dad into high streets, going into a video shop and being allowed to choose a couple of tapes one day. And I picked up Ghostbusters because that was the in film being released at the time.
Yeah,
So I
good
picked
one.
up the Ghostbusters
Not
VHS.
the Karate Ghostbusters,
Not
just normal Ghostbusters.
not at that point. Um, and then I picked up my first Jackie movie was Police Story. So that was the first Chan film I ever saw,
Mm.
and
Wow.
that was a Premier Palace tape or
That's
Palace
right.
Premier, whichever way around. It's
That looked sort of like a gold box, did it?
that's the kiddie, yeah, yeah, the
Mm.
big boy gem.
Yeah, lovely,
And
isn't it, eh?
uh, and all I can say is I played that movie, Steve, and yeah, I mean, to say the rest is history, and that pretty much is it. That tape, I cannot tell you how many times I've watched it in my life. If I was to say I've watched it 50 times or 100 times that tape, I'd be lying. It's more. It's more.
Right.
It's more. And
Same. Yeah.
I was that, so, yeah, I was then on to Jackie Chan. And once I got onto Jackie Chan, it was just, for me, as a young boy, it was Bruce Lee, don't get me wrong, I am a big Bruce Lee fan and a Bruce Lee collector. So I do collect all my Bruce Lee merchandise and absolutely love him as well.
Yeah.
But if you'd have pushed me into a corner, um, it's Jackie for me. And Jackie became my priority. So
Mm.
from seeing Police Story, I was stuck with that film for quite a long time. So it wasn't like I saw Police Story and then jumped straight onto Young Master or something else. No,
Mm.
it was I was static on that for a while. It wasn't easy just to go and get tapes. It was either it was a treat or it was a birthday or a Christmas or something.
Yeah.
So with Police Story, just that whole film, just amazing. And to have
Okay. Well,
seen something like that at such a young age, you can't
mm.
compare it to Arnold Schwarzenegger in Commando and Predator, and you
Can't.
know, it was,
That's it.
and you couldn't even, it was way, the fight scene compared to a Bruce Lee
Mm.
film fight scene, it was just at that
Mm.
time it was mind blowing, um,
Correct.
and
It's over. It's
it's
done.
over.
It's over.
It's over.
That's it.
That
That's
is
it.
Chan at his absolutely most daring, and so to see Police Story first exposure, priceless. So uh, from there onwards, I guess I've become, and I've heard you mention it before with guests and stuff, but I almost felt like become a bit of a Jackie Chan salesman unintentionally. So I'd go places and I'd be like,
Mm.
you need to see this film. You need to check out
Mm.
this tape. You need to give it a watch. And then I'd get to the age where I was starting to have sleepovers around my friends' houses in the local estate and stuff, because we used to hang around, play football on the fields and etc. So we started having sleepovers, and you take your Nintendo console or you take your Sega. I'd take my Chan tape as well. That'd be packed in the old pillar bag, and we'd stick on Police Story. And if I tell you
It's so
what,
true.
every single lad that watched that with me, every single kid loved it. And they all got hooked. They were all going to Woolworths with their mum and dad and getting a Police Story tape. And it was going around like wildfire. and we were just stuck on Police Story, nothing else.
Yeah.
I couldn't ask my dad about this guy, who this guy was. He didn't have a Scooby Doo who Jackie Chan was.
Yeah. No.
So my knowledge at that point was so limited because you couldn't, as you've mentioned, there was no internet. You were reliant on the back of the cover telling you what
Yeah.
else they may have starred in. Now,
Yeah.
the only thing on the
Trailers
Police
on the vid.
Story box set, yeah, the only thing on the Police Story box that would have helped me was it would have said in brackets, the Protector having already firmly established his style or something similar. So I
Mm.
knew, hang on a second, what's the Protector?
Yeah, you know what? It's so much more fun though, right? Because
Yeah,
look what you did. It's just a little clue that you went, whoa, whoa, whoa. It's
yeah,
so. It's just look. It's if you're young and you're getting into this stuff, you can't help it, right? No one can age you, and no one wants you. You don't gonna want to get aged, right? But you're not getting that experience again because now they just release it, bang, bosh, and it's another one and another one. It ain't like that. It
yeah,
wasn't like that then.
yeah.
If you know, you know. It was just special.
Yeah. And when I saw the word the protector in brackets, the
Mm.
protector having firmly already established his style or something, I didn't know at that point. I just thought, the protector, right, this is a film about a copper. This is the police story. Is it because his role as a policeman is as a protector in this film? He's looking after someone. He's so I didn't really know whether it was referencing another film or just his character's role in the movie. So it kind of
Even better.
that had to sit dormant for a little while, but I was aware. Protector.
Keep your eyes out. Now you did say about your mates. It's funny with the pillowcase. So the reason I have
Oh,
to jump in. I apologise for interrupting, but it's because I have things going on in here. And look, there's nothing. I'm not writing anything down. I should probably make little notes and then come back to it. But because I don't, I've got to just get it out. So the pillowcase and whatnot, and the Chan tape. And then you said your mates were going off, and they were also going to Woolworths and finding Police Story. Now they wasn't getting the gold box version, not in Woolworths.
no,
There's
no,
no gold. There ain't no
no.
gold box
That
in
that
Woolworths.
would have been at the time that Forefront was doing the rounds.
Ooh, yeah, okay, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, and we say that, and actually, so Palace Premier, the big gold box that we've mentioned, they also released it in small case.
Right.
We're going to start talking about covers now, Steve. So
Mm, no
Forefront
problems.
Video. Forefront
Mm.
Video released it twice. They released it with a blue spine and that different artwork to the Premier Palace big box.
This one,
That's the one, yeah. So
right?
they then also released it in like their budget range with the gold border.
I remember gold border.
Yeah,
Yeah, ruining it.
right.
Yeah, okay.
So before Forefront put that small box with the blue spine with this
Mm.
post, Premier Palace had released that as well as their first sell-through version of their big box. So they completely changed the art for their sell-through version. Not many people know that. They just assume it was Forefront Video, but there was one released before which was absolutely identical, barring it didn't have the Forefront logo on it. Um,
Well, it still had the gold box art on it.
no, no, no. It had.
So it was Palace, but they changed the art to
Yeah,
this.
so
Yeah,
basically, the art that you see on Forefront Video that was created by Palace Premier. That was
yeah, brilliant.
their
Okay,
first sell through version was exactly the
mm.
same as the Forefront sell through before it had the gold border. So that image was one that they put out. Yeah, and that was the one that I think
Interesting.
my friends were grabbing at the time.
Well, that's interesting. Ain't he
Mm.
wearing some sort of white top with red stripe on that one?
Say it again, so Steve. White shirt.
What's his clothes like on that? Is it a white top with a red stripe or something like that?
It's you can tell that they've tried to replicate the jumper in the shopping mall, but they've used a completely different colour scheme, haven't they?
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I don't remember it
Yeah, I
being the
think
jump.
that's what
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, they've almost turned it into like a sort of a baseball sweatshirt or something, like a grey,
Yeah.
whitey, bluey. Yeah,
Well, we can do that. There's an idea for police story covers, and we can do that because that is
let's.
that is going to be interesting. Yeah.
Police Story is a good one, and also we can have a good chat about the dubs for Police Story because there's a bit of a trail of that as well. So yeah, that'd be good.
I'd love to discuss it because police story is one where I only ever watched Big Box Gold. understandably. And we weren't even that gold trim at the top, weren't that sort of embossed and cut out, and you know
That's right.
the I mean, what's going on? It's amazing, right? I don't know. I didn't look at other videos by that company. I only had Police Story, but how comes these VHSs were bloody brilliant? You know what I mean? They weren't
Yeah,
even supposed to be in your hands. They're just rental only. I know
yeah,
that makes the box on the shelf is what sort of, oh, look at that box on the shelf. But as we've said, that and this this box and the color. I mean, there was effort there. This I know it's budget, but there's effort and then there's no effort. You know,
yeah. It's just
whole
attention to
box is
detail.
effort.
Attention to
Detail.
detail.
Mm.
They must have cared back then.
Yeah, that's it, right? It's true though. Now stuff's just churned out, Now, but that stuff has an identity. So
Yeah.
when you took the tape round, you were telling your mates, "Look, we're going to play. Hang on a minute. Let's just make sure. Just hold on a minute. Are you a games bloke as well?"
I don't think to the same level as yourself, Steve, but I certainly like my retro NES, Nintendo, all the old sort of commercial consoles.
Oh, okay. Well, you don't know. It depends. There's different levels to things, and you don't know because I'm not that much Nintendo, and you are. So in the Nintendo world, you'll be more higher level, but it don't matter. You're still games, and it's retro. So brilliant. Love it. Something
And it's
else.
and it's Jackie Chan's action kung fu. Another Christmas present.
Yeah, that's right. Amazing. And what's the condition like on that? Because it'd be cardboard box, right?
That's right, yeah. Cardboard box, still got the liner manual. Oh, I think I've got the foam insert as well. The
I mean,
polystyrene
that's
bit.
amazing. Yeah. What about the PC Engine Drunken Master?
No. Drunken Master on the PC Engine.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Really? What?
yeah,
Again?
yeah, Hue card version. So not
Oh,
not the
really?
not the CD-ROM, Hue card version.
Brilliant.
And
I didn't know that,
yeah, I mean
mate.
the graphs are amazing. I mean it's massive, big sprite, and it's 100% Chan. It's 100%
Oh,
Drunken Master. Top off business. Yeah, now there's
oh,
one.
brilliant.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
I
got
have
it
to do a
somewhere.
little bit of homework on that.
Yeah, that's it. I'm sure the cover of it. I'm pretty sure the cover of it has like got a Bruce Lee bloke on it
Oh. If
doing
you
this with
find
all like lightning and stuff. But the game is definitely Chan Drunken. Well, I mean, I can't read it, but I'm sure it is. Yeah, it definitely
okay,
is.
if you can find anything on that, Steve, could you send it my way to have a look at? I'd be keen to see a
Yeah,
bit
I
on that.
will.
Yeah,
Yeah,
any
no,
screenshots you can.
I'll have a look. Yeah, yeah. Obviously it's amazing, right? I know you'll have that Project A thing on that
Oh
boss.
yes.
Yeah, yeah. I knew it. I knew it. A friend of mine, he found that the other day in actual Japan, and he
Mhm.
sent me a picture of it, and I went, I really want that because I don't have it. I really want it. I'm obviously not going to be able to play it. I don't have the equipment to play it, but I can't remember the price because this might have even been saying like a year ago, but I can't remember the price. But put it this way, I said, but you better leave it because it was expensive.
Oh
They
really?
knew. Yeah, the
Yeah,
dear. Yeah.
yeah. They knew what they were doing, especially if it's in good condition.
Yeah, well, it looked good. Yeah, it looked good. But there you go. So I don't have that. But yeah, that was a strange one. But when he sent me that, that's the first I knew of it. I went, that
Mm.
looks like a Project A video game, which I didn't know about, and that's when I looked it up and went, oh, so there is actually a Project A video game. Yeah,
Yeah,
see,
and Project A2 as well, Steve.
well, there you go. I'll have to look. I will look back in the photos. I'll try and find out how much it was, but I don't know. Look, I'm sure it wasn't hundreds and hundreds, but it was too expensive for me. I just went, nah, leave it. Just even though you know how it is, because he's never sent me a shot of it again, and I've not seen it again. It makes you go, ah, damn it, I should have got it. And with
Should
most stuff, I do go, just get it, and he'll go, yeah, but it's a tenner. I say, yeah, all right, we'll just get it, and he'll go, yeah, I know, but I've seen movie pamphlets for 70 pence, and I went, yeah, I know, but you ain't seen that one for 70 pence. And he went, "Yeah, I know, but I'll find it." He's not into Kung. He's just a very, very, very good long time friend who'll do
yeah,
anything for me. Wicked. But he's not Kung, so he will just think, "Don't be so stupid. I'll find that in the next shop." And I say to him, "No, no, 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 no! Don't leave the shop. get me that, please. And he'll go, no, I'll get it for you, but when it's 70 pence. And I say, no, don't risk it. Just get that one now. And I have to convince him, but he's doing it for, to help me out. I say to him, look how many things you found. Have you seen that? And he'll go, no, but I will. And I like that attitude because he ain't there for me, but it is like he's there for me. He said, I like doing this. It gives me something to do. I'm like, this is unbelievable, having a bloke that will just search through these boxes and find things. Now, that's a good thing. But obviously, I tell him, just get that, right? And it turns out, it's not like he then finds it later for 70 pence. But that's because he don't know. But there are times when he'll go, I am in a shop. I could ring you, and I'm still awake. So I go, yeah, I'm a bit of a night owl. You can ring me. It hasn't happened that often. And he did this thing where he videoed it, and he was doing this. And I'd go, wait, whoa, go back. And he'd go, no, there's nothing good there. And I went, okay, just go back. And he said, I've looked through them. There's nothing good there. And I said, I have to say to him, listen, just because it weren't Bruce Lee or Jackie Chan, it don't mean I don't want it, and it don't mean it weren't good. Go back, right? And then he'll do it, and I'll go, stop, because he does it quick, because he's thinking, not Chan, not Bruce, not Chan, not Bruce, because that's all he knows. And I'll go, stop, and he'll go, what, that? And I say, yes, that. I say, get that. And he'll go, why? It's football or whatever, right? And he knows I ain't into football. And I go, yeah, I know, but it's the champions of Yumbil. So it's not football. It is, but it's not. So I'll have that. So sometimes he's well confused because the Chinese bloke he don't know, and it's football. So he's gone, and I just think to myself, man, the amount of stuff he must have sifted through that gone, he won't care about that, be interested in that. But what can you do? I ain't there, am I? So yeah, he's fun. He's still fun though. But there you go. So police story, your mates, vids, taking it round their house. I had the same thing, as you know, spreading the word. Strange feeling, isn't it? That you feel so strongly about this thing that you go, I must let other people know. And most people, I'd say not most, everyone knew. So whenever I showed them this stuff, they all knew. Even the cool kids that would go, rubbish. I still knew because I could see it in their face. I saw the sparkle. I saw it go off in their eye. I knew because I'm looking for it, right? I'm putting this on and he's sliding down that pole or whatever, or throwing blokes down escalators. I know he's only seen Commando and Terminator. I know what's going on. I know what's going on. So I'm looking like this. I'm waiting for the reactions, right? And most of them were like, oh my God, bloody hell. Yeah, rewind that. But there was the odd one that played it cool and was like, yeah, whatever. Big deal. It's too late. It's too late. I've seen it. I saw it in the eye. I saw your leg twitch. I saw it. I knew things were going on. I saw it, right? So I knew I'd done it. I've instilled it in that bloke as well. And I always felt done ya. And then they would prove it because they would come back and go, you got any more of them films to put on? I said, hang on, I thought that was a load of rubbish. You know what I mean? Even my uncles, they would say it, oh, crap, Jackie Chan, Uncle Terry. I've got to say these people, they're part of the history. Uncle Terry, he'd go, Jackie Chan, crap. That's what he would say. And every time I walked in with my mum and dad, because I mean, I didn't go there on my own. My mum and dad would take us family visits, and he'd go, yeah, Steve, got any of that Jackie Chan? Well, the rubbish Jackie Chan, of course I have, So I knew, but he was doing it all in jest, all in fun. So I loved it. But other Uncle Charlie, he was Chuck Norris and real karate. So Uncle Charlie was real karate, and so he was into Chuck Norris. He liked Bruce. So that stuff, I believed him when he said, no, this is too flowery, too jumpy aroundy. That bloke wouldn't have got up from that punch. He didn't get it, if you like. To him, it was like, nah, Norris is better. And I was so confused. I'd be, Norris is better than this. And you go, yeah, way better. But I believed him. It was the truth. Yeah.
Did you show him the tagline on the police story video?
I didn't get there. No, you see, I should have done that. That would have done him, wouldn't it? That's it. Yeah, but yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh, mate, brilliant. But I never showed him that. That's true. I don't even um, I don't even recollect even thinking that would be a good idea to do. But yeah, that'll teach him a lesson, wouldn't it? that would have done him for sure. Take
Yeah,
that, flipping Norris. So yeah, so there you go. You were taking stuff around the house, video
yeah,
games, and the chans. I mean, what could you do? And
yeah.
let's stick on the story for a minute and how you felt when you first watched it. So you said you were going out looking for stuff. We know there's no interweb. You had the big box gold. Do you remember where that came from? Was it a market stall or something? Was it an X rental vid shop? Do you remember where that version came from?
Do you know what? I don't actually. I don't remember what store. I remember
Mm.
it being the same day that I got Ghostbusters, which was from I think VHS, British Home Stores, or whatever it was called, VHS.
That's right.
It,
British
it,
stores.
it,
Yeah,
it was
brilliant.
it was a local video store, but I can't remember whether it was a rental store or where it was. It certainly wasn't a market. Not for the first video. No,
Yeah, and it couldn't have been a normal, like you say, Woolies or anything. I would have thought because they wouldn't
no.
they wouldn't have big box
It,
gold in there.
yeah, it must have been. It must have been one of the rental stores.
Well, it was a good. They had a good cafe in British Home Stores, you know.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, the grub in there was decent. Yeah, we know what it was, right? It was clothes and whatever. It's British Home
Yeah.
Stores, but normally towards the back there would be grub, and it was brilliant in there. Lovely, you know. Fry ups, had a sausage, had this and that. Yeah, I loved it. British Home Stores was good for the grub, of course. Yeah. You
And
don't
then what
remember
was?
having grub in British Home Stores? No, you know grub in British Home Stores. All right. Well, look, maybe someone else will know that British
I
Home
don't
Stores had
remember.
brilliant.
I must have been chewing on the Woolworths pick a mix.
Well, yeah, there you go. Yeah, see, these are the classic things that some people won't know about. They tried to bring that back, haven't they? I've seen it in Tesco's pick and mix, but
You can't
it
do
ain't the
it.
same.
It's not the same. It's the same. They're saying about that pick a mix in the 80s.
Not the same. It's not that I don't like sweets no more. It ain't that.
It's not. Yeah.
I just walk past it. Don't mean nothing. But it ain't because I don't like sweets. That's for sure. So, what did you think of Police Story? I know you've kind of said, but I need more. So, why did you pick that up? Was it because it had Chinese bloke on the
Yeah.
front?
So
How
I
did you
think
know it was sort of
it was
related to a
exactly that.
Bruce Lee kung fu?
Yeah, it was the cover. It was the cover. It was just you knew it was. And I can't. It's got more of a. I think you can just see his fist, can't you, on the cover, possibly
Yeah,
beneath the
yeah. You can
frames.
tell he's
He,
doing a
he's,
fist. Yeah,
he's certainly pulling a fighting, pose, and I think he's doing that side kick in his jumper on the side. And I
yes.
just knew from looking at it, and when I turned it around, just something about the cover. I was sold on the cover. It was a Chinese guy. I'd just seen Bruce Lee not all that long ago. I loved them films. Um, so, yeah, I don't know if I even recognised the fact that Golden Harvest was written on there. I can't remember. But there
No,
was
I don't
something,
think that triggered for me either. I don't believe
yeah.
so.
So there was just something about it that I thought, yeah, this is worth a gamble. This one, this is. Yeah, and that was it. And yeah, watching that tape, and to this day, it still plays as good as new. It's as good as new. I'd still give it a thrashing every now and then up in the bedroom, the VHS that is. I still stick it on.
Just yeah. Well, listen, that's the most interesting thing in that bedroom. Me and you both know that. That's we know that, right? How comes the other stuff gets tiring and can't be bothered with it? But Police Story, no, we'll carry on watching that over and over. Still,
Yeah,
still like that.
yeah. It's
Still
the
like
connect.
that.
Yeah,
And
it's
it
the
don't give up
connections.
on you. You just said it still works. It don't give up on you.
It
They
don't
give
want
up
to leave
on you. They
me.
can't be bothered. Yeah.
They don't want to leave me. And that's one of the things about, just diverting a little bit about this kind of passion and this lifelong collecting and love and admiration for this hero. And I think at the end of the day, like I've always considered it, it's healthy to have an interest, something that's not doing anyone any harm. It's had so many positive, I think, effects on my life. And I just think at the end of the day, life can be difficult and challenging at times for everyone. And I just think to be able to take that step back, no matter how hard times get sometimes, and have that interest that could just take you back to a good place is a good thing to have. And I guess, my collection and my Jackie Chan stuff's always been there. ever since I was a young lad to now. It's always been there. It's the reliable thing. It's there. It's got my back.
Yeah. Well, calm down with those chats.
Yeah, I'm gonna
just calm
start you
down
up.
with that. Yeah. Well, because I get it. It's the consistent. It's never done you no harm, and it's nice when you have people around you. You know, I'm guessing there's probably some other people in the house there that are letting you indulging and letting you, and even adding to this collection, and
I'm,
respect them as well.
yeah, I'm very fortunate. I've got a really supportive partner. Um, yeah, and she's actually quite likes Jackie Chan as well. Yeah, she likes Jackie Chan.
Yeah. Well, tough if you don't. Yeah. It's tough if you don't. But how can you not? But look, this is the thing. Like you say, it's that you can always rely on this stuff. As you know, you can always, as you say, if you're having a bit of a rough one or whatever, you can just whatever bang police story on or whatever it is. It's the stuff that it's only. Hmm, I mean, there are a few times with it where I could say my dad weren't really into it, so and I think he did think it was a waste of time. So it weren't like he was supportive with it. He wasn't horrible, but he also didn't understand and didn't care. You know, he was
Yeah,
into stop watching or playing video games and go and do something. It's not terrible advice, you know. As an older person, as someone who's matured and grown up, I can completely understand what he was doing. It was done out of love. This wasn't someone who was telling me off or telling me to go and do something different for no reason. It's just not how he grew up, not what he had. And to him, he's like, well, you guys just watching these fighting films. What's going on? You know, just go and whatever. You know, he'd have preferred it if we went out and played football, which we didn't really do that much. You know, and my bro, it wasn't really what we was interested in. And of course, when we got older, we were just carrying on with this stuff. It just didn't stop, whether it be the video games or the Kung. It never stopped. So then he would be, well, yeah, but now you need to go and do something, you know, get a job and this and whatever and all that stuff. And there was nothing wrong with all the chats he did, but I don't think he did like it that much. And one story, look, I don't know if he'll see this. I've told him about it as a grown up anyway, but he did me wrong once with this stuff. And yeah, I'm probably going to get done here, Paul, if I'm honest. But I've started, so I'll do a mastermind, so I'll finish. And I had my walls were caked in this stuff and the ceilings and the door, the outside of the door, the inside of the door, anywhere that was my space, if you like, had this stuff all over the walls. Everything. I mean, everything. Whatever it is, I don't know that it was on the side of the telly. That if there was a wardrobe, there was stuff on the side of the wardrobe. Wherever there was a space, it had something Kung or video games on the walls, all over the place. Tomfers hanging up, spears, there was, you know, so it's just everything everywhere, including, as I said, the ceiling. When I run out of space, I went, oh, ceiling, which I
there you go.
loved, right? Because you went to bed and you saw it all as well. So I loved all this stuff. Now, obviously, the house was my dad's, and you know, although to me that was my room and my space, I know he didn't like that. And I am going to give him some credit because he let me do it. He never said no, but he didn't like it. There's no doubt about it. He didn't like it. You know, he'd sort of come in and let me know he didn't like it. Not just you could just tell it was like, oh, you know, this kid and this stuff all over his walls or whatever. He just didn't get it. He didn't have, and he will admit that now because his childhood was very different to mine. You know, much different, much more old fashioned, much more strict or whatever. It's not the way he was brought up. So he was trying to be good, trying to be understanding. Because as I said, everything he done, whether I took it positive or negative, was done from the right place. It was done from here, and I know that now. Even if those things are a bit tough at the time and they upset you at the time, you know, now I know. So it's all good. But there was once, and it's a tough one to swallow. This one where he decided that he was going to decorate the room, and that's fine, right? Because obviously it's his house, and he said everywhere needs a fresh lick of paint and whatnot, or new wallpaper. But he did it when I was out. He didn't ask me to take my stuff down, so he ripped it down. And yeah, I'm even now it hurts, like, because he just didn't care about any of it. And I do get why you don't, but it's not fair. It's not right, because I know he would regret it now, but he is who he is then, and you change. But he was a fiery fella, so he just wanted the room done. He would have seen that stuff. It would have been annoying him for years. And he just went, well, I'm painting this room and decorating this room, and this stuff's in my way. So there was no taking it down. There was, where if the corners come off, the corners come off. When I came home and walked into my room, not only was he decorating and painting the ceiling, but the ladder he was using was on top of all the posters that were on the floor. And I mean, obviously, it don't go. I've got it in my
Yeah,
head. But
yeah,
so that is bad, by him. I was devastated, as you can imagine. More so then than now, because now I can just go, oh, it's just a poster, right? But we both agreed it weren't just a poster, was it? For me, it wasn't.
no,
So bad showing that by my dad. Bad one.
yeah. I feel that, mate.
Yeah. So there you go. So I can say to you that there are times where there was negative associations with it, but that doesn't
Yeah,
make me dislike it anymore. It's just, I mean, I love the stuff. That's what makes it so bad that he did that. It's like, bloody hell. I can reason it all out now, but even so, I even remember saying to him at the time, you could have asked me just to take them down, and I would have taken them down. But he hated everything, the blue tack. So he hated the tacks, not the blue tack, the drawing pins. He'd hate
hmm,
that. And so then I went, okay, well, I'll use blue tack. I won't stick holes in your wall. I'll use blue tack. And yeah, but we both know that leaves greasy stains on the wall. That obviously he didn't like any of it. It was a bedroom to him. It's just a
yeah,
room that maybe potentially later on he's going to want to go, right, we're going to move out and sell the house. You know what I mean? So I get it. That's the thing. I can reason it out. But anyway, when I tell him these stories now, you can see that it has an effect on him because of who he is now.
mm,
And then he has a much more of an empathetic way of looking at it, and hearing his son talk to him. You can see what it does, but I'll always reason it out with him. I'll always say to him, yeah, but, and I'll always make it right. But my bro, if he sees me doing any of these chats, he's cringing in the corner like, oh my God, I can't believe you're telling him this story. But, I can't help it. But there you go. You
yeah,
learn from all of this stuff, as we all can. So yeah, there you go.
yeah. And
Sorry,
it's
Dad, you're still brilliant. It weren't like he was smashing me face in, and and whatever, getting me in arm bars and
yeah,
headlocks. It's all right.
yeah,
Like I said, it all came from the right place. That's just a bad decision, and he wouldn't. If he knew the impact that would have had, he wouldn't have done it. To him,
yeah,
he'd have been confused. He wouldn't have understood why. Why are you crying about this for? It's just paper. Who
mm,
cares? But he
yeah.
did. Yeah.
Didn't quite get the the deeper association with it at that point.
No, no. But now, especially as he sees all this going on and everything, he's massively supportive of it, because he knows, right? He's like, still likes this stuff. He's still chatting about this stuff, and yeah, he don't have the same thoughts and worries about raising children and paying the same bills, and it's
Yeah,
not the same.
different time.
Yeah, that's it. Different time. So there you go. Take
Yeah.
that for a connection, emotional story.
Yeah, that is deep, and I think and similar to myself in terms of like, I was always supported with I guess the supply, the introduction, I guess, and the supply of the tapes. It was never a problem, and as time went on, my dad certainly enjoyed watching, Jackie Chan. Um, my brothers, I've got two older brothers, and they're not so much. They weren't so keen. Um, but even after probably a good sort of 5 years of watching it, even my mum come round to quite liking Jackie Chan. In actual fact, I think Crime Story was probably one of her favourites. She loved Crime Story. Um,
Oh, really? That's an
yeah, she
interesting
really
one.
liked
Not
Crime
not
Story.
much fights going on. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's probably
Good
because
film.
it's probably because it's most similar to Touch of Frost.
Okay, yeah, that's a TV series. You like that as well? Yeah, yeah. Good point. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I was the only one in the household as a kid that loved this stuff, and like you, my room was caked in it, and I had to share a bedroom with my brother. And growing up for a lot of the time, and you had my bed on one side, his on the other, and my side of the wall was just shelves and shelves and tapes. I think it used to annoy him a little.
Well, what was on his side? Let's find out what
uh,
was in his side of the room. What is it? Boring? What we
And
saying? What was
he
over there?
was he was football crazy, so he probably had football stuff or
Mm.
maybe pictures of women. I had pictures of half dressed Chinese men. He had pictures of women. We had an even balance in the end. Um,
Oh, yeah, that's quite good. He still supplied that for you, yeah.
yeah,
But
but
yeah, it's
I
true.
yeah, and when I'd go to families' houses, I just remember like if I was going to an auntie or an uncle's house, anywhere or my cousins, I'd take a little video with me just in case the moment come up. You just never knew in the afternoon when them cakes come out whether there'd be time to slip in a tape. So I had it just in case. And many a times I just remember I have them memories now of just sitting in the house. Dragon Lord, the Guild video, I remember that, watching that while my auntie's cooking a roast. And I'm just sat there, uncle's in a chair, my dad's in a chair, we just got it on. Um, yeah, so good memories. But so with Police Story, so I had that tape for quite a long time, as I said, before I was able to sort of progress the collecting on a bit. And I think
Yeah.
the next film I saw after Police Story was Young Master,
Okay. Yeah. Well,
and
brilliant. So back to
that was
traditional. Yeah.
that was the big box guild for Young Master. Shortly followed by Dragon Lord, the same one you've got there. So
Excellent.
that, as you can see, there's a bit of a transition. Then we've gone from modern day action Chan into period shapes Chan. Well, to a
There you
certain
go.
extent. Dragon Lord, not so much, obviously, but Young Master, still very much so. A bit of that split and split of styles, and
Yeah.
so that was my first kind of, I guess, first time I'd seen something similar to a kung fu film at that point, because Bruce
Mm.
Lee films wouldn't really say kung fu films. So that was kind of the first door into them period dressed movies and bits and bobs. And yeah, loved it. Absolutely loved it. Young Master, Dragon Lord. And then after that, I'm probably going to rush ahead now, but after Dragon Lord, it then came to this little one here that I know you have some thoughts and feelings over.
Yeah, man. Don't I,
Snake
Justin?
in
You've
the
got that
Eagle
brilliant
Shadow.
hardcover version. Yeah. Both of those I
Yeah, and Drunken Master.
adore. Mm.
And then, so
Yeah.
that was
So
definitely my first real pure kung fu comedy movie.
mm.
I haven't seen any others at that point at all. And I'll tell you something about Snake in the Eagle Shadow, and you probably can agree. There's something about Jackie Chan's character in this, Chin Fu, right? That I'm going to say it actually pulls you in even closer as a fan to Chan for certain reasons. That I think out of all the characters he's played in the whole of his catalogue of films, Chin Fu, there was something about him had the most heart. There was something about that guy. You watch that film and you're like, I actually like this fella. He's a really not. I want him to be my mate. He's a really nice.
Yes.
Do you see what I mean? There was something comforting about Chin
100%.
Fu.
He's the best bloke ever. There's no doubt about it. He was a
Yeah,
lovely bloke. Everything showed how there was lots of signs that showed you that this guy Ching Fu was a brilliant bloke. You've
yeah.
got him walking along carrying some wood. Hey, stop beating up that old bloke, will you? Right? Care for the elderly, right? Nice bloke. There's a cat, right? Listen, we don't you're doing it again.
Say hello.
You can't be but I can't be getting on to cat because
Okay.
right, I'm gonna get again. Even so, right? So I obviously I had a cat that I grew up with, and I even little things like that. I was like, man, even Chan, this bloke even knows that cat is brilliant. Not only does he know that the cat is brilliant, and he feeds the cat, and he hang around with the cat. Listen, let's just do it as it is, right? It goes deep, whether they mean it or not. these are supposed to be, well, not supposed to be, that's wrong. People view these films as rubbish, low budget, chop socky Chinese crap. Okay. But when I was watching that, I got exactly what you got from that character. This guy, when he had some hard times and was getting beaten up in that school and getting treated like crap with everyone laughing at him and him being a bit of an outsider but a brilliant bloke. Why is the outsider who's a brilliant bloke? Why is he getting mocked? Why is he getting beaten up? Why is he getting laughed at? He's a brilliant bloke. But then he would go back and he would say, "Hello, cat." And I mean, for me, that's done me already because, yeah, it's like putting on one of the tapes and sorting you out. The cat was another one that used to sort me out if I had problems. I'd go, "Hello, cat," like Chan, and he was doing the same as that. So amazing, really, really deep. Whether it's meant to be or not, that stuff is in there, and of course, I love the guy for it. It was at those times. This is another thing. If you watch Snake and Eagle Shadow now, and you're a bloke and you're a mature bloke, and all those things have gone, they will not have the same connection. It's impossible. Why would they? You can still understand it, of course, but yeah, there was so many reasons why that character was brilliant and resonated with me for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, even though me and my brother have never spoke about it like this, I know for sure he will feel exactly the same about that character in that film as well. I know it. I just know it. You know,
Yeah.
and it's the overcoming everything, right? Look what ended up happening, right? This is some Dumbo who's so thick, you know, he can't even wash the floor without getting mocked, right? He's used as the Hung Tai School walking punching bag, and the old bloke man put some feet on the floor, draw some feet on the floor. I know he gave him a little tester with a bowl and try and grab this bowl. I know he gave him a little warm up, but no, this guy ain't thick. You've underestimated him. No, he ain't stupid. No, he ain't dumb. He's got a heart, caring fella. You've put them now. He's got to prove more than that. It's like, what are these feet on the floor? Oh, the old man's trying to teach me something. I'll try it. And then we get dun 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 dun. That's right, that version. Anyway, yeah. Over to you, Snake.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah, there's something definitely.
Up, so you're right about that character. You know, tell
There
me your
is.
feelings.
Yeah, it was. It was. Yeah, as I just mentioned, it's just someone that character really you almost. It probably is like Jackie, but you almost believe that was Jackie Chan himself. That was. You felt like at that stage after seeing Snake in the Shadow, you had got to know this man more so. There was something about it, and I think, yeah, I still to this day I think it's the best character he's ever played.
I've never thought about that and tried to, you know, look at them all, and it's another good discussion to have. You know, go through every character he's played of the films that we've seen, and say what's your favourite one. But yeah, that one wouldn't take much thought, that's for sure. You know, because he's everything, and he shows a bit of everything in it, right?
Yeah,
He's funny. He's fun. He can take a load of crap. He can be disciplined and learn martial arts. He's technically capable. He's got a brilliant bod. He's just best bar on it. It's everything. He's brilliant. Yeah,
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 yeah. It really works. And then you've got other elements of that linger on into his other films. So you're taken away from the fact you're really drawn to this Chin Fu guy. And there's never been an official Snake and Eagle Shadow sequel with Jackie Chan in it. So Chin Fu was never to come back again. But what did we have to hold on to that would still come back and be present in the other movies? And that was his dubbed voice. So Chin Fu, dubbed by Chris Hilton. Right.
Good info. I didn't know the name of the fella, but brilliant. Thank you.
So then later on, when I'm starting to watch the Lo Wei films, okay, so I'm moving on to Lo Wei after these, and I think I probably watch. I think New Fist of Fury might have been up there as one of the earliest Lo Weis I saw.
I'm doing the Transglobal box.
Yeah. And when I stuck it on and I put it in, I instantly fell in love with New Fist of Fury straight away. Now I know this one's Marmite. This is Marmite.
Yeah.
People can love it or they can hate it. and it gets a lot of bad rap, New Fist of Fury, and I get it. It isn't the same. It isn't like the others. But again, as a young lad, I'd come fresh off the bounce of Snake in the Eagle's shadow, okay, and I've stuck this tape in. And what's the first voice I hear of Jackie? Chris Hilton dubbing him.
That's it then. That's
So
it.
Chin Fu's back in the
Connection.
room. It's Chin Fu again.
That's right.
And
That's
he's
it.
playing, in some ways, quite a similar personality. He's a little cheeky chap. And there was, so straight away, I felt, actually, I like this because I can hear it's Chin Fu. So, yeah, there you go.
No.
You know.
It's about what it means to you, and that was your instant connection. Chan came on, he started chatting. You were obviously aware by that time and old enough to understand that these are dubbed and it won't be his real voice, but that is Jackie Chan's voice. That is why when things like Project A came out, that I never liked that dubbing, because it was just I don't recognize, I believe, any of them voices.
Oh, did you say Project A?
Yeah.
Well, actually, Steve, the dubbing for Project A there's the person who dubbed Jackie in Project A dubbed him in a lot of the 80s films that you will recognise. But I get what you mean, because the way the pronunciation and the kind of accent almost was a little bit different in Project A. But it was um, oh, my mind's gone now. I should know because I've done an article about it.
Brilliant.
The guy out of Rush Hour. Oh, it's going to
Oh,
bug me now. What? No.
no, I do know that there's a bloke who done something like Rollins or something. What's his name?
Mark
Rolston or
Rolston.
something.
Mark Rolston.
So we do know. Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It slipped out my brain then. But so Mark was the dubber for Jackie in Project A. Wheels and Mills. So Wheels and Mills and Project A, Chan is dubbed by the same voice, but they've got slightly different ways that the dialogue's kind of spoken. Miracles. Police Story 2, Police Story 3. Operation Condor. Yeah, they're all dubbed by Mark. And then you've got Chris
Look,
Hilton. You've got Chris
interesting.
Hilton. Chris Hilton done a lot of the Jackie 70 stuff. So Snake in
Right.
Eagle Shadow, New Fist of Fury. He did the very first dub for Master with Cracked Fingers.
Mm.
That's the very first one. And then you've got, obviously, you like the old school Drunken Master dub. And that
Yeah, of
was
course.
Warren Rook. He dubbed Jackie to start with in Drunken Master, and then, funny enough, so when Drunken Master was redubbed in the early 2000s, when it came out and he got that second dub that's a bit controversial, causes a bit of tension when we talk about
Correct.
Drunken Master dubs.
Absolutely terrible, but funny in
Yeah,
its own way. But yeah,
well,
terrible.
there's
What were you
another
saying?
connection. That's Mark Rolston doing the dubbing for Jackie's character in the new Drunken Master. So that Project A voice has come back to haunt you in Drunken Master, which might be why you're not so keen.
See? Now, it's interesting you say this, though, about these voices, and thank you for that information, because I really, really enjoyed knowing that timeline of who dubbed what and when. Now, by the time I got to films like Miracles, I was into Cantonese versions by that time. So I don't even think that I've seen Miracle dubbed. I don't believe I have. So he got on my nerves, not as much as he could have done, because the same Armor of God 2, again, was Cantonese by that point. Um, again, I think I have seen that English dub, but actually only recently, because I was sort of watching it while doing something and I dashed it on in the background. So I didn't want sub Cantonese. I went, I'll just dash this Ingers one on. So I'm kind of refreshing myself on the film, but not taking it serious. By that time, I'd got a bit more grown up with it and went, okay, where are these guys from? What language do they speak? And so I'd started to see some of them original prints at the cinema and stuff like that. So I was much more into Cantonese version. It won't change what I think of the old ones. So the Rolson bloke, those ones that you mentioned that he did, I haven't seen all of those in English. So, but I have to say, if you're telling me that he's Drunken Master new dub and Project A, and I have to say, I didn't really like Wheels on Mills dubbing either at the time. It means what it means to me, as in that didn't truly put me off the film. But even then, I was like, these ain't the voices. You know, he spoke like he had a cold in in Project
Wills.
A
Yeah.
and Wilson. Yeah, you know, there was just, you know, to me, Chan. Well, you know what Chan was to me. We've just said it. He's that Chin Fu bloke. So he's that voice. So when you change it, if it's in Cantonese, even though a lot of the times, as we know, that ain't his real voice either, then I could accept it and just go, well, that's it. But I'm watching it in Chinese now, so it doesn't matter. But if you change the English Chan, I could handle it. Don't get me wrong. I still loved those films, Project A and Wheels and Mills. Those films I watched in English for sure, mostly. But you know, they weren't the same. I didn't like them. You know, Project A was one that both me and my bro went, this don't sound very good. So when we got the opportunity to see that or own that in Cantonese, I never watched that English one again. Just watched it in Chinese. That's it. So
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, in each decade of Chan's films, so you got the 70s and the 80s, he was pretty much predominantly dubbed by two main dubbing artists, and they just kind of alternated which titles they'd done. So in the 80s, you had John Culkin as well. We did the Police Story dub, the first one. And then your Drunken Master dub. So Warren, who dubbed Jackie for Drunken Master, also did his voice in Snake and Crane. So you'll
brilliant.
recognise it's the same voice as the Drunken Master original dub as the same voice
Yeah.
for the
See,
Snake.
and he's brilliant in that. Right? It
Yeah,
works. It's brilliant.
yeah,
So he's good. Yeah,
yeah,
he's
and
good.
Dragon
Both of
Fist.
those two are brilliant. Yeah. See, different bloke, but and obviously I knew it was a different bloke as in, oh, it's not the same Chan voice, but never ever
Yeah,
did I go, don't like this. It was always brilliant. You know,
yeah,
I
and
loved
then
it. My name is Su Yin Fong. You know, I loved his voice. He's brilliant. Yeah,
yeah,
fantastic. Yeah,
and Young
really
Master.
good.
I'm on a roll now. Young Master and Dragon Lord. They were both the same dubbing voice, and they were the Bruce Lee guy, wasn't it? The one who dubbed Bruce Lee's voice in a lot of those films.
Okay, right. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, I didn't know that.
Barry
Brilliant.
High.
Yeah, excellent.
So yeah,
See, and I love those as well. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I just love the export dubs. You know, I'm really passionate about them. Even the more recent, even into the 90s. Whereas just now, when a new film comes out, the new Chan stuff, and they dub it in English, I can't stand them though, because
It,
it's just like, you know, I know we've mentioned a few ones that we weren't too keen on potentially, but when you listen to them now, there's no effort made in terms of they just try to get somebody to speak broken English Jackie Chan style, and
thank
it
you.
doesn't it just doesn't. You don't get any of that warmth anymore.
You know, man. You know. I remember when we watched Magnificent Butcher recently, and the first time it played because the Eureka thing's got new and old dub on it. And the first time they pressed play on it, I think actually the first two times it was the wrong dub, and everyone knew it was the new dub. So it was a little bit like, why, hang on, you've played the wrong one, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you got a sniff of it, right? Even though I've not watched the new dub, I don't know what it sounds like, but I got a sniff of it and went, well, I don't care what it sounds like. I'd rather, given choice, not watch this version or just bang it on in Cantonese, no problem. But we knew the other version was available, so we were okay to go, you know, can you play the other one? And when the other one played and the people started chatting, dubbed, of course, my bro just looked at me in the cinema and said, look at the difference. That guy looks like, that voice looks like that guy. There's effort there to make him sound like what he looks like.
Character.
I went, I know. So he said there's character there. And it's so true. These chats that people do, these guys were crazy. They must have been on something. This, that, and the other. Someone, these guys look to me like they were taking their job very, very seriously because, in my opinion, they did a fantastic job, and not just on these chants. You know, all the old Shaw Brothers films. When I grew up watching those in English dub as well, I thought the dubbing was excellent, really good. Didn't
Yeah,
look like to me they were just not caring about it and just going in after they all went in there and drunk and whatever. It's like, well, if that's what it does, I don't know what the truth is. I wasn't there, but to me, it can't be that because the job was too good. As in, they
yeah,
did a good job.
yeah. The outcome was good. The outcome was good.
Yeah. So you like it as well, right? This dubbing's wicked, isn't it? It's the best.
Yeah, yeah, love it. Well, I was stuck on the dubbing for probably a good decade of being a fan because, as we know, it wasn't easy back then to see films in Cantonese language or Mandarin.
No,
And I'm not a London lad, so it's not like I was close to that scene, and I certainly wouldn't have been old enough to go to late night showings in the
right.
'80s. But you had to wait till probably the early '90s before I started seeing films in original language, and then it took some adjustment because I'd grown
Really?
up by then on a good steady years on Police Story export dub, and then when I first get to see the Cantonese one, the music score is completely different. I was used to the Kevin Basington score from the export, which I absolutely love. I just think that soundtrack's amazing. And then I had
Which
to get
film are you
used.
saying again? Sorry, because Billy distracted me. Which
Oh,
film?
Police Story.
Police Story. Okay, yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
soundtrack. Good. Yeah, carry
yeah.
on.
So then when I saw the Cantonese one with the Michael Lau soundtrack, it really took some getting used to. So I was like, hang on a second,
Right.
this isn't them Simps, this isn't that. It was completely different. So it really took some adjusting. It really changed the
Yes.
tone of the film. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
The thing when
So
that happens, because you're into it and you're older at this stage, you go, okay, but let's respect that these films are from Hong Kong and there is a bloke that originally did the score for this film. It takes
yeah,
adjustment, but you do end up getting used to it.
absolutely.
And you go, okay, well, it's still good. But Wheels on Mills for me was a real powers adjustment, because I used to press play on that and it'd go, dun da dun dun, bam ba da da dun, dun da 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 dun, bam ba da da dun, bam bam bam,
Brilliant.
bam 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 ba da dun dun dun, hoo, dun da dun, hoo, bam bam bam, and I was like, oh man, this is amazing. And then yeah, see, right? Wicked. Dun, da 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 da. Yes, mate. Yes. Who? Ba-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da. Don't, because you'll press the buttons on the keyboard and shut me off, and that's what people want right now because I'm singing tunes. So maybe you don't like it, but yeah. But then the Chinese one comes on, and I remember a fella
Very
telling me at the
different.
time, "You don't understand. You're not watching." He was into the language and stuff, so I appreciate where he was coming from. Still my age, still love these films. Don't know him anymore, but he said to me, "This ain't the real soundtrack, though." I went, "Well, but it is the real soundtrack." He went, "No, it's not." I went, "Yes, it is." He went, "No, it's not, because it's not the Chinese version. The Chinese version has got a different soundtrack." I went, "Okay, no problem. It's got a different soundtrack." Remember, I love this stuff. I was absolutely open to learn more. And he said, "And it's better." I went, "No worries." And I've got it. I went, "Brilliant. Let's go." He put it on, and I went, "Oh, this ain't this is all weak and watery and wet." I went, "Nah, this ain't better." I mean, so adjustments. I got
Yeah.
used to it
Well, you do.
eventually, but it ain't
You do.
still ain't better. Yeah.
And now, I love them all equally. The Wheels and Wheels, the export, and the original Chinese, and the same with Police Story and all the others. You soon adjust, but that first time you get that exposure, it's a bit of a shell shock. And with Wheels and Wheels, it was just so different. You had that thumping, real good, you know, rhythm, upbeat
See?
score, and
Yeah.
then you had this, it just sort of changed completely into it.
Do you remember the tune for the wet one?
I
Do
do,
you
mate,
remember
but
it? Can you
it's in my
No,
head.
please. No, can you do it a bit and I'll help if I start to remember it. Because I didn't watch it that much, I went, "Oh, nah, this is."
it
Do
it
it a bit.
starts off. It almost starts off quite instantly with something like. I can't do any more than that, Steve. It's
Please,
I need to.
please. No, because I need to
I,
remember it and I can't remember it. Pick another bit then. Just I'll wait. I'll wait. I'll wait for it to process. Come
yeah,
on.
I'll come back to that. I'll come back to that. I need to put my Channel 4 days head on so I get a
Because I've
flashback.
got the shot of it and I remember it coming on and going,
Doom,
I
doom,
remember, yeah,
doom, doom.
trying to think of the shot.
Anyway, but it was akin to. I tell you what else was a bit of a letdown when I first experienced it. So just
Mm,
switching over to Bruce Lee a minute, and on the
mm.
Big Boss, Big Boss is like my Wheels on Mills for music scores because the Big
Right.
Boss English score, love it. You know that, you know, jump straight in. So I
Oh,
was,
ba-da-da-da-da-dam, ba-da,
yeah, 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 yeah,
ba-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, massive.
yeah. Brilliant, yeah. You couldn't get a better
Amazing.
score than that. The problem
Fantastic.
yeah. Once you had experienced that, it was hard to jump ship. But anyway, so when I saw Big Boss in either Cantonese or Mandarin, and the music score started for the Chinese version, I thought, what the bloody hell's this? It was like
What's
someone had left
happened?
an ice cream van in the background with a flat tire or something. It it was the most annoying soundtrack I'd ever heard. I thought it was annoying,
There you go.
whining.
Yeah. Do you see? This
It
is the
was.
thing. No
It's
power.
like a,
Yeah.
yeah, there was no power. It was like a broken down ice cream truck. I was like, and to this day, 2024, I still don't think I like it. I
There you
appreciate
go.
it's the original. I
Yeah,
appreciate
of
it's the,
course.
but
That's
I
it.
don't like it.
No.
That's bad, bad tune.
Yeah, well, it's your opinion, and I can't even tell you what the music is. I can't sing it to you, so I don't even remember not liking it. But let's put it this way: you said that other one, and I went, "Oh, that I know that." But I don't know the music to the other one. Maybe if you sing it, I'll get it.
Are we on
Do you
Wheels and
remember
Wheels
it or
again?
not? No, not the Wheels and Mills. What about the Chinese
Big
Big
Boss.
Boss? Do you remember how that goes? Because
Oh.
I don't.
I don't know, Steve, but it's irritating. Just think of a dodgy old ice cream van losing its battery power, and you probably got it.
Oh, brilliant! What does the ice cream van play round here? Oh, I don't know. It's always
Some,
like London bridges falling down or oranges and lemons or something like that. That's it. It is. It's da-da-dun, dun, da-dun, da-da-dun,
yeah,
dun, dun, dun. That's my ice cream van round here.
someone will
Because
love
don't
it.
wait long enough. I run out there for it, gone. I get my trousers on. I'm getting a bit of change. Not a bit of change anymore. It was over £4 the last time I went and got a whippy out there. That's
You need a
bad. That.
strong note now, don't you?
Exactly. I got done. I got done. They had to didn't have to, but they let me off. I was a bit short, and I went, "Oh," thinking I didn't know I actually had to bring my wallet out. I just thought I'd grab some change. Didn't have enough. Bad, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah. Should have taken the flake out.
that's
You
it.
know what I mean,
Yeah,
remove the flake, but that wasn't happening. It's too late. It's
could have done
already in there.
could have done a Mr. Nice Guy scene. See, even an ice cream van has a connection to Chan.
Yeah, that's right. Always, it's brilliant. So yeah, soundtracks. Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting because again, like sound effects makes a massive difference. You know, Drunken Master 2, that Legend of Drunken Master, that
Oh,
whatever, is that an American? Well, yeah,
yeah.
yes.
It just shouldn't happen.
Oh,
There's no reason for it to happen in this day and age. And you know, we've said before, and I'm trying to rack my brains why they redubbed Drunken Master almost. You know, how many years later when they did that redub? It was. I'm convinced that that was redubbed in early 2000s. And I think I remember reading somewhere. I think the dubbing of it seemed to coincide with the Hong Kong Legends DVD release of Drunken Master.
oh, really? Okay.
Oh, so
Yeah.
it was probably late 90s then, actually. Yeah, because Drunken Master came out. DVDs sort of launched in the UK around late, about 98, 99, didn't they? So
Not sure.
gradually.
Yeah, but
uh,
okay, yeah, that does make sense.
yeah,
Seeing
so
as I was working in shops with DVDs at the time, yeah, but yeah,
yeah, we're talking
I
over
think so, yeah.
15 years after an original dub that was absolutely fine. The only thing I can imagine is that when they went to release Drunken Master on Hong Kong Legends, they didn't have the copyright to include the original ranked dub. So they had to redub it for the purpose of releasing it, having an English dub on DVD, and then it's just seemed to have been the go-to dub since that point. I think that's how I understand it.
That makes more sense than oh, these films were dubbed ages ago and it's inappropriate. Because
Yeah,
although I'd never seen that version, because I have no reason to watch a redubbed version of probably my all-time favorite film ever. I don't need to watch a redubbed version. I have seen it now, the whole thing, the whole way through, and there's if you're going to talk about inappropriate, I'm not saying that's the reason, but that is the reason that some people have brought up. Oh, back then, it was, you can't do those things now. I can't say this, I can't do that. If you looked at both dubs, which I have now seen both, right, I can now really tell you I don't like it. Before I had no interest in it because I pressed played and went, ugh, when that Eureka one came out. I went, finally, might have a good quote Drunken Master. I put it in and went, no, I can't watch this. This is now trash to me. This is unwatchable. So I didn't watch it. And now I have seen it all the way through. And I'm telling you now, that is way more, loads more swearing and cursing and everything than the original. So I went, no. This is way worse.
Yeah,
In my opinion, it's more inappropriate, if you like.
yeah, yeah,
So nothing wrong with that stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Look how we turned out. We grew up on that dubbing. We're brilliant, ain't we?
Exactly.
But it's true. Now we're going around talking, spouting out these lines and everything, and there was nothing terrible in there.
Yeah, yeah. There's no reason to redub these classics. I don't know why they've been dubbed so many times. Some of these films.
I don't know
Just
either, but I liked your face. It wasn't just your face; it was your body language. The disgust on the Drunken Master 2
it's
version.
well,
Yeah,
it makes me turn in my grave, mate, and I'm still here. I just
well, yeah, it's bad, isn't it? It's
because the
bad.
Drunken Master 2 soundtrack was amazing. Look, if you're going to come and watch Jackie Chan in Drunken Master 2 or call it Legend of Drunken Master, look, it's a period set Chinese film. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Why
Well,
change? Why jazz it up to be something else to make it a little bit more modern with some swooshy sounds on the kicks or whatever?
oh,
And it just distracts from the whole fight scene. So you got no. The old Drunken Master 2 had powers. They had the fights. They had that's what we want. That's what you
that's
want.
what it is. That's
That's what we
what it
want.
is. As
Yeah.
you say, if this film isn't suitable for Western eyes, then you know what? Forget it. Because the people that it was suitable for, me, you, other Chan fans, other Hong Kong movie fans, they've seen it already. They've watched it. They've enjoyed it as it is. They're not
Yeah.
getting the full product. They're not getting the true product.
Yeah, and let's face it, in reality, are you telling me that somebody's become, I might be wrong, but somebody's become a big fan of Jackie Chan now because they saw the US Dimensions Legend of Drunken Master version? That version made them a fan. If that version made them a fan, they were going to be a fan. Do you know what I mean? I don't believe the soundtrack score and dubbing helped make that, bring that film some credible justice to the fan
No way.
kingdom. No, it didn't.
No way. It's
No,
going to put them
if
off, if anything. And
if
then
you
if they go
liked it,
back and watch other Chans, there ain't going to be nothing like it. So it's
yeah,
actually doing damage. Well,
exactly,
we think it's doing damage. Yeah, I do think it is.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, Steve, you need to. If you haven't watched it, it's painful. So actually, probably don't do it. But Police Story. Have you ever seen the American New Line Cinema
No,
re-release of Police Story?
no, never.
Ooh, that's a bed of
Bad.
nails. That one. Yeah.
Sound effects. What about sound effects?
But
So music, fair enough. Dubbing, fair enough. Sound effects.
yeah, everything. The full works changed. Everything.
Oh no,
So they've
no.
just used stock library music from all the US Chan films. So you got the First Strike US music score and Mr. Nice Guy, and they just literally press play when the movie starts. And it's almost on a constant loop all the way through the film. So you got the shopping mall fight scene with sound cues from US version of Mr. Nice Guy, and
Wow.
it
Hmm.
it's
Interesting.
and I think we sometimes, I don't know if we take for granted or not, but sometimes just a bit of a kind of reality, a bit of appreciation that actually we got it quite good in the UK as a martial arts
No,
sort
I
of
agree.
collector of films. We did get it quite good. In
Mm.
contrast to America, they were very late peaking with Chan. I mean, the only thing they did get was Police Story under the title Police Force, which was fine because it was the same export cut that we got with the same
Yeah.
export dubbing, so that was all good. But they didn't really take off until Rumble, and everything was just remarketed, rechurned out, rescored, redubbed. We've been much more fortunate to at least have experienced and survived them original Golden Harvest export days as they were intended to a certain degree
Yeah.
on
To
most
a
of the
certain degree.
cycles. Yeah,
Yeah, because we could go. Someone else would go. Yeah, but I know, but they're still not a ridge. They're your ridge,
sure.
right? So they can put that argument up, but they didn't change the sound effects. We didn't have American wind sound effects. Why is there even such a thing? It's a
Yeah.
Hong Kong film. It
Yeah.
doesn't have those sound effects. You know,
Yeah.
it made wicked fights looked. I mean, you can still tell they're amazing because the choreography is good. But you look at
Yeah.
the fights and go, these ain't amazing no more. They're, especially if you know the difference. Look, we're watching it and listening to it through ears and eyes of another version. If it's your first thing, you don't know the difference. It's just what you know. But like you said, if anyone's watching that Legend of Drunken Master and going, cool, I like this Chan bloke. I mean, brilliant. Thank God for that. Go back and find some other Chans. That's great. But bloody hell, I mean, it's wrecked, an absolutely wrecked masterpiece. I mean, I love
Yeah.
that film, and
Yeah.
I hate it because when I know that there's people watching that, whether it be on, I don't know, I think it might have even been on Netflix for a bit or stuff like that. So I know
Or
it's getting
maybe.
in front of people. I think it might
Yeah.
have been. And there's people watching that thinking that's the film. And somebody has made a decision to say, yeah, but I'm going to make this film for you. What do you mean for me? You don't even know me. Just give me the film. Especially like you said, the words you use there, this day and age. Now I think I know why you said that, because we're getting all sorts of exposure to all sorts of films, whether it be, I don't know, Portuguese or you know, whatever. There's all sorts on Netflix even now, right? Whether it be Polish films, Spanish films, Swedish films, Korean films, there's everything. And most of the time, sometimes there's a dub. Most of the time, they're there with subtitles, and people are watching these films and going, "This is brilliant." Right, and we've even gone through the Crouching Tiger phase where my aunt went to the cinema. I'm not doing the story again, where she went to the cinema and watched it, right? So we've been through that. People are okay watching Chinese films in Chinese, aren't they? And they went and said, no, they ain't. The film needed to come out. It needed to be released. It needed to be shown. It's a brilliant Chan, the last proper Powers Chan. And then you give that to people, you serve that up. Bad. Real bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Didn't need to be the case. Didn't need to be the case. And I know you said it before as well about, the boutique labels that are releasing all the new, we're getting our new Blu-rays and that these days on 4Ks. And you've hit the nail on the head before that, are we getting the ultimate versions yet? And credit where credit's due. Obviously, they're doing an outstanding job with the restorations and etc. etc. But for me, there's still some gaps. There's still some gaps that need filling. You've mentioned it before, Snake in the Eagle Shadow, right? We
Yeah,
still don't have that how we want it. Okay, now
correct.
it could be that I get that some of these things are a personal want, and not everyone's
Yes,
going to have that want because they didn't have that experience.
sure.
But the experience, they've got to you've got to kind of take a timeline with these films and work with it. And for me, there's a lot of hybrid cuts that go on films now, which is great because there's so much hard work they do to try and restore them and fill in the blanks and get the
Yeah,
uncut scenes and all these different versions. I mean,
and that's wicked.
absolutely
Yeah,
hats off to the work that's done. It's incredible, and the stuff that they are now that is now available for us to see. But I'm still very much, I still like things in their context to what they were at that time. So if I want to watch the Cantonese version or the Mandarin, I will watch the Cantonese or Mandarin with my English subs. If I want to watch the English export one, I'm going to watch it, but I want to watch it how it was. Okay, so I don't want it 90% English export and 10% original. And by that, I
nope.
mean, we're still, when we select English mode, we watch the original credit sequences. So we'll watch still the Chinese credit sequences and the outtakes, and the title cards will all be in their original Chinese, but we'll be listening to the dubbed English audio. Well, I selfishly, as a consumer and fan, I still want to be able to click on that videotape version. I want to watch that videotape version. I want to see them titles in the font that was used at the beginning and at the end. I want them credits. I want that the end sign, Snake and Eagle Shadow, when they do that. I want it to come up the end.
That's it.
Um,
That's
I
it.
want the same title cards that are on these tapes, right? we want that narration on the intro. Yeah.
Down, 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 and we want the narration. That's right.
You
I
want to
don't need.
fire this
I
up?
like having extra bits, right? But it needs to start with Shinkun Yin. I'll kill you, An Pai Chang Tin. That's it.
Yeah.
That's
You
it.
want to stick that in your Blu-ray player, and you want it to say "Eagle Shadow Fist" when it comes up, just to confuse you.
Listen, right? It's weird that I'm recording this now because what day are we on? Okay, Wednesday. So last week, was it last week? Yeah, no, at the weekend, I did one of these, which obviously will be about come out in about 500 years' time because I've got a massive backlog, right? But I did one, and we're chatting about To Kill with Intrigue with Rodney, and
Brilliant.
this came up. What came up, and I've got the actual bloke here now. What came up is that, and I said, but Paul's helped me out here. He sent me a link. He tagged me on something and said, "I think this is the soundtrack you're looking for with the correct dub, right?
Oh yeah.
German blues, right?"
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I said, "Brilliant, thanks very much. You're the best. Can you send me a link? I don't want to get the wrong one." And I said, "So I've had to buy Snake and Eagle Shadow again." And when I bought it and it came through the door, she said to me, "How many times have you bought that film?" Now, remember, she truly doesn't know the answer to that. And I went, "Well, as many times as I need to, but yes, it's pretty annoying. I'm having to buy this film again, but I'm not finished. But maybe I am now." So I am well excited, right? Bearing in mind that I got given the best piece of advice ever from you. You didn't tell me it was perfect. You just said, "I believe this is the dub and the soundtrack that you want, but you know it's not as good as the tape." You said that at the same time. Caveat, right? So I knew what you meant, but I went, okay, it's never going to be. You're right. Even so, just give me the soundtrack and the dub I want, and this one I will watch. That other 88 films one, nope, I've not watched it. I smash it in white font, on a red background. I went, no, it's supposed to be yellow. It's supposed to be yellow, and it's supposed to say Seraphim Karalexis presents. So he's right. This is, and then I went to the feet, went to the feet. Let me just make sure. A tiny bit of dubbing at the beginning. You know, obviously you know the film. Yep, right, the right dub. Let's go to the feet. Wicked, right soundtrack. Wrong
Magic.
font. So I went, it's still not it. We're getting there.
We're getting there closely. Well, another
Yeah.
20 years we'll probably have it because
It's
and I love
mad, isn't it?
and I want these original. I want the original Cantonese and Mandarin theatrical versions. You know, I don't want it to come across as if I have, you know, I don't enjoy them in their original format because I absolutely do. But
So do I. Love
there's
it.
I have a lot of nostalgia in me that I hold for and I call them because they are, whilst they're not the original Chinese version, Golden Harvest still put out original export international versions, how they intended it to be in an export fashion. So when we're seeing this is what Raymond Chow expected us to see. This is what Golden Harvest put out for us to listen to, watch, see.
Yeah. Good
Okay,
point.
so that was their intention. The later ones are
Yeah.
not their intentions. So we are seeing it, whilst it's a dubbed police story or a dubbed young master, we are seeing it how Golden Harvest intended us to see it at that time. And that's
That's
important.
right. It is. Now we could go, oh, but that's how whoever intended them to see Legend of Drunken Master. But you make the point there, no, it isn't, because that isn't Golden Harvest. So it's not the intention of
Yeah.
the original filmmakers.
And just on Drunken Master 2, Golden Harvest put out their original Golden Harvest export English dub of that movie. It just so happens it was never distributed to the UK. It was distributed in South Africa. So, you know, South Africa released Drunken Master 2 on VHS in original English dubbed export version with English title credits, title. So it was already out there. So the excuse that it didn't exist is not the case. It's out. It was out there, and it just wasn't distributed to the UK at that point. But
Now I
yeah,
never
they
knew
go on
that.
forever
That's
about dubs.
interesting. Yeah, well, so what? It's brilliant. We will do. We'll do whatever we want. I mean, I'm enjoying it, and that's it. If somebody else does, then brilliant. I appreciate that, and I also appreciate it if you don't. But I'm loving this. I didn't know there was a real English version of Drunken Master 2. Have you? I mean, I don't know. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've got it. Obviously, yeah.
What's
Got
it
it.
like? Does it feel like of the time? Does it
Oh,
feel
what?
nostalgic?
Oh, what? The original dub for Drunken Master 2? Yeah,
The Inga's one. It
I
does.
like
Yeah,
it
it's good.
because that was my first exposure as well of that. I first saw that on export tape,
No,
The
really.
South African tape, actually.
Actually, I say that with some surprise, but that film for a long time was tricky to get. I got
Yeah,
lucky and saw it at Chinese late night
yeah, yeah.
4 times. So I saw it at the cinema, and that's my first version of it. So, and I wasn't, I didn't need an Ingas of it. That's it. I
Yeah,
was older. I was
yeah.
all good. I watched it at the cinema, Hong Kong cut, the way it was meant to be seen. I mean, I loved it. So I had no reason for an Ingas. But yeah, it wasn't an easy film to get hold of.
No, no. Yeah. So yeah,
To see what
that
it's
was
like.
my first. I remember there was so much hype with getting Drunken Master 2 because for a long
Yeah,
time leading up to it, all I was seeing was little teasers because I was buying, martial art illustrated combat magazines and Impact and all that kind of stuff in the 90s. And
yeah,
go to the Jackie Chan pages, and there'd be this picture of my favourite. The first image, I haven't got it to show you to hand, but the first image I saw for Drunken Master 2 publicity image was the iconic thing where he's fighting Ken Lo at the end and he puts his fists into the bench and then he breaks it.
yeah, yeah,
Where
yeah. He
there
breaks
was
it,
a
and then he does a double boot on it as well to break.
yeah.
Ba bam.
I
Yeah,
just saw this
yeah.
image of like Ken Lo pinning him with this bench stool and Jackie Chan having his hands all tensed in between it, and he was
That's right.
and that was the only image I saw of Drunken Master 2 before I managed to see the film, and I thought I was so hyped for it. And when I got
Yeah.
it, the tape, I didn't know what language it was going to be in. It was just ordered out of the back of a martial arts magazine catalogue,
Oh, right.
mail order, and it was the South African one, so it was the export original dub. I was happy as a
Unbelievable.
hurry with it. That kept me
Yeah,
going
didn't even
until
know it
sort of
existed.
Chinatown.
Was it? Is it a ridge, the tape that you got, or was it a
Yeah, it
bootless?
was original from South Africa.
Well, fair play to whoever advertised that in the mag. It was a proper do. They got you the proper tape and
Yeah.
everything. That's brilliant.
Yeah, whether it was an accident that they sent me a proper one, but yeah,
But what else would there have
perhaps it's the
been?
original first copy.
Yeah, perhaps it is. Perhaps it's the original first and only copy.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know
So
that existed,
great.
so that is bloody interesting. Yeah, and so everything in your opinion, the soundtrack and everything is the same, not just
Oh
the
yes,
sound
yeah,
effects.
absolutely. And that was a good thing about it, Steve, because when Golden Harvest were doing the distribution of it and turning them out as their exports, the edited, they had already with Drunken Master 2, the only scene that was cut, and you'll know what it is, and it's the ending scene, the drunk, the how it ends after he's blown the bubbles. So the end scene was completely removed, which, to be
Yeah,
honest, I'm fine with that. To be honest, at that time, well, I didn't even know any different. To be fair, so I didn't know how it was meant to end. But everything else is exactly the same. The music score, the sound effects, it's all the same. It's just got an English dub and English credits,
brilliant,
which leads me on to
brilliant.
something, a big one of mine that I'm desperately trying to find. It's the only thing I've never been able to track down. You might know what I'm going to say, but
I don't, I don't.
Rumble in the
Yes.
Bronx, right before New Line Cinema got their paws on that. Golden Harvest had also done an original English export version of Rumble in the Bronx, not Miramax New
Oh,
Lines. Right,
oh, oh,
that right now. What I think happened is I think that
oh.
got churned out and it got quickly almost recalled, if you like, because very soon, obviously, New Line signed it, and Golden
Right.
Harvest would have had to try and pull back anything not to ruin their deal. I'd imagine with New Line Cinema, not to compromise it by having it already out there. But
Yeah, I see.
it's in existence. There has been theatrical shows of Rumble in the Bronx in its original English dub, and that was also uncut, so there was no censorship to it. It was the same original score, so it was your Nathan Wong score. Um, Nothing changed other than probably English credit title cards and a redub. Everyone was redubbed. Even the Western people were redubbed again in an English dub. Jackie Chan
Right.
was allegedly called Ken instead of Kyung. So he was called
Well, it's,
Ken
fair enough.
because it's easier for English people to pronounce, allegedly. So they went with Ken. It was meant, by all accounts, and what I've heard, the dubbing isn't rated high. Apparently, it's quite laughable. But hey, aren't they all to people that don't like dubs?
Sure. Yeah.
But that's the
Now
one I want.
that's
That's the
needed.
one I would
Yeah, that's
love to
needed.
see because that's how they wanted it to be seen initially before New Line.
Damn it, that is needed, isn't it? We need to see
That's,
that. Yeah, that'd be
need to see
brilliant.
that.
Now, funnily enough, even that's actually showing tonight, Rumble in the Bronx at the cinema in
Oh
London
yeah,
here.
it is school night. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and I don't know what version or anything like that, and I really want to see it, but
Miramax, New Line.
yeah. Oh, so that's down
Yeah,
down 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 down. Come on, Jackie Chan.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Mr. Miyagi and the X-Men. That's the one.
yeah, okay, yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. Not bad.
It's quite, do you know, and this isn't to be fair, Rumble in the Bronx and First Strike, New Line Cinema, they did, I can see why, and I understand why a lot of fans, because it was a lot of people's first exposure to Jackie Rumble in the Bronx, and I get it, they've seen it in the New Line Cinema version, so to them, that's this for them, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's
yeah,
this,
yeah. Mm,
so I understand that it would be hypocritical of me to like say, well, you can't feel like that because I
of
feel like
course you
that
can.
about
Yeah.
certain things. But
What's
Rumble in
the
the
music
Bronx,
like?
yeah.
What's the original music like? Do we remember it? Because I seen it here somewhere.
Rumble, ah,
Rumble.
brilliant. Right, again, a bit of
It's
a
brilliant.
yeah. It's a very the score again. A lot of people love it or hate it because it was quite very basic, monotonous, quite repetitive in the background. Same with First Strike, but I like that. Because I first saw Rumble in the Bronx in the original version with the original audio and language, and I liked that score. Was quite gritty, and it was very retro with all the
Mm,
synths and It was just had a bit of a yeah. So when he's fighting in the dark and in the with the glass bottles, you had this
mm.
repetitive. I'm talking, so I can't think what it is, but it's great. It did the job,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
want that. That's it. It was something
that's
about it.
right.
Just yeah.
Yeah. Well, what about the track at the end? On the end credits where he sings. So
Oh
we're not
well,
going with the Jackie Chan what
well
oh
that's
oh.
amazing.
We're going with yeah. It's amazing, but can we get it? It's in here, by the way. I know it. I've just got to see if I can get it out.
It starts. Is that the one? I'm
I
not going to
don't
do my
know.
Chinese singing.
No, you don't have to do Chinese. Did you get to the chorus? There? Carry on. I'll
I've
see
got
if I can
quite
get
far.
it. Yeah, but carry on.
Brilliant.
I don't know why I can't get it. I loved that music.
Oh,
The the Chinese one, the one where he's singing that one, isn't he?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, he done it in Cantonese and Mandarin.
How does that one go? You've just done it and I still ain't got it. Hang on, let me think. Has that got some little hoots and shouts in it as well?
No. You
No?
think the Drunken Master too?
No, I've got that one in my head. That's why I need to clear it. I need to clear the
Got to clear the
da
bang.
da 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 da
Dun,
ba da
dun, 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 dun,
da
dun,
da da.
dun,
Brilliant soundtrack. Yeah.
dun, dun,
Da,
dun,
da,
dun,
da,
dun,
da,
dun,
da,
dun, dun, dun,
da. Yeah.
dun.
Yeah, brilliant. So you need to
This
get rid of
is
that out of me head and
this
just
is
stick the
turning into the
Rumble on
Sound
there.
of Music, mate.
I know it's quite good though, isn't it? Because the soundtracks are brilliant, and this is one of the reasons. Same for Grant, where you said at the beginning, you said, "Oh, it was all you love Bruce Lee, me too," and but for you it was the Jackie Chan, and for Grant it was the same for him. He went, "Yeah, but he does loads of stunts, he does loads of different kung, he directs the films, he sings the music." So for him, it was all of those aspects as well that
Yeah,
that sort of tied it all together.
I think to quote Cynthia Rothrock actually, in when they did the BBC did that Kung Fu night, 7 hours long in 1997.
Yes,
That's when they showed Prodigal Son, Enter the Dragon, Monkey,
right.
and there was a kung fu fighting documentary in there, and Cynthia Rothrock was talking about Jackie Chan, and she said, to her, Jackie Chan was kind of her favourite over Bruce Lee because it was a lot more harder to do all of that kind of stuff. It was a lot more difficult, and I think that kind of really just sums it up. The stuff that Chan was doing at that time, it was just, it was mind blowing, wasn't it? It was just
Yeah.
just great. And it still lives on us and us now. And a bit like when you spoke to Grant, what I could really connect with was when he was mentioning about, with his kids and in the living room, he likes to
Oh,
still, I'm the same. I like rolling around after watching a film. I'm jumping through the sofa as if it's a gap in a ladder. We're doing these
yeah,
things. We're still doing
yeah.
these things.
It's inspirational stuff. There's no doubt about it. It's you just like that connection. Yeah, you're right. I'm still doing it as well. It's true. I'm not sure about the jumping through the fake ladder because jumping might be beyond me now. But still, still some stuff comes out. Now, let me.
Brilliant.
I absolutely can't handle that. I can't remember rumbles. And just so you know, I'm actually going to look it up. But I bet you it
Yeah.
comes up with bloody
Is it called
Ash. Ash,
Is it called Sincere Hero or something? I might be wrong. I can't
something
remember
like
the
that.
Chinese name for it. But dun, dun, dun,
Let me
dun, dun,
find it.
dun, 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 na, 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 dun, 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 na, 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 dun, 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 dun,
Why ain't it
dun.
helping me? Is this the one? Yeah, okay. Da da dun 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 da dun. Bran da da dun 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 da dun. Bran da da dun 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 da dun. Brilliant song. Then he
One of
keeps
his
going.
best.
Da da dun 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 da dun. Ba da dun 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 da dun. Da da dun
That's it.
dun 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 da dun. Bam bam ba da da da. Ba dun 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 dun. Hey la da da da. Bam bam ba da 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 da. Ba dun ra-dun, da-dun, dun, ba-da-da-da-da-dun, da-da-da-da-da-dun, bam, bam. Oh, that's the bit I meant. I know it don't do that, but that bit where it gives that little gap. Dun, dun, doo, ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-dun, dun, ba-da-da-da-da-dun, la-dun, 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 dun, ba-da-da-da-dun, dun, da-da-da-da-da-dun. Yeah, brilliant.
It's up
Dun,
there
dun.
with Police Story songs. One of his best.
Well, I mean, listen, this is the thing. What about Armor of God, though?
Which one? High Up on High or Laura Lie?
Well, high on high, obviously. We don't get rid of the Alan Sam business. Not that he's not brilliant, because he's good as well. We'll have him as well. But yeah, it's got to be. This is the thing. When I was
It's a
watching
brilliant
these
song. Yeah.
films, yeah, first time, I wouldn't have always known, oh, that's Chan singing. It's just, what a brilliant song at the end as well. You always see, this is the thing. They make you like the music because you have to watch the end credits because the end credits had the outtakes and made it amazing. So, of course, when you're doing that, you're then getting used to the music and they just,
It's
it just
catchy.
seems like they knew what they
It's
were doing
catchy.
with it.
It's like the music is like the whole package of Jackie Chan films in that era. It was almost like a packet of sweets for a kid, all wrapped up in a film. Because
Yes.
even with my kids, right, I'll have some Jackie Chan on, but they get hooked by that music as well. That music draws you in. Children
Yes.
like Jackie Chan music.
Right.
It,
See?
it, it you know,
Dan
it's
da dan, dan da dan, dan dan da dan dan, dan da dan, dan da dan, dan dan da dan dan. Brilliant.
yeah.
Dan, 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 dan. Brilliant.
And I only knew he sung it because on the credits it would say sung by Jackie Chan.
There you go. Hum, chi, hoy, ba 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 da 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 dan dan. They're all brilliant.
They are, yeah.
See, this is it. This is what it's all about. That's a good way you put it there, like sweet, wrapped up. and it does everything. You unwrap the sweet and you eat it, and you get this, you get that, you get a bit of everything in there, and you get the center in the middle.
It's
Oh,
yeah, and that's going back to the love and the passion for this. And here I am. You said I'm not that old, but I'm in my 40s, so I am quite old. And right, I still feel inside, I still get as excited about this guy and his stuff as I did when I was 8 years of age or so, right? And
yeah,
then
yeah.
feelings the same. And I don't care that the new films aren't what they used to be. I understand that. I accept that. My expectation bars aren't set up here. I'm just pleased I can still see this man do his business, and I still get just as excited, and I'm excited about Panda Plan as I am about anything else. And I still get when that postman drops me off a little package, right? I still get a dopamine hit, the same as when I was waiting for my 28-day working day deliveries as a kid for a video on the mail order. I still get
28
that
day. That's
same
it.
feeling.
Yeah.
The passion's the same. It's still the same. If you ask me, Paul, it's Christmas soon. What did you like from Father Christmas this year? I'd say something Jackie. Something Jackie.
It's true though. It's true. I absolutely love it. It's unbelievable that, like you say, that excitement is still there. But my friend said to me the other day, he went, "Have you seen any of this new rubbish Chan?" Now he meant, and I said, "Which one? The panda one?" He said, "Yeah, terrible," is what he said, right?
Okay, so
And I
seen
don't
it.
think he's seen it. I don't think he's seen it. I don't think so. But he'd obviously seen trailers, clips. He went, "Looks rubbish, this, that, and the other," and started smashing it in, saying slow and blah, blah, blah. And I went, "Yeah, but he's 70 and he's still doing stuff. And actually, for one of the newer ones, I actually think this one looks pretty good." I thought. So I just said to him, "I actually think this one looks quite good." And he said, a real classic, he said, "Yeah, but it's horrible watching, your heroes get old and do rubbish stuff and whatever." That's what he said. And I appreciated that. And I said, "Look, who are we though to tell this bloke, preserve your legacy, stop making films, and just retire and go around and do charity work or whatever it is you're going to do? Who are we to do that?" I said, "The fact that he still wants to do stuff is brilliant." Because I remember the time when Chan said, "No more fighting, no more kung fu, no more action films, just Robbie De Niro." And I went, "Well, that's crap." And then all of a sudden, he just started doing action films again. I went, "Brilliant."
Yeah.
So I don't know what
We,
happened.
you've only got to look at that Jonathan Ross interview from 1989, where he says, 3 more years, 4 more years, depends how good I am.
The
So
one
that
where he's
would have
sitting
put,
in the editing.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah,
he says, does a bit of
yeah,
going on in. That's it, yeah, yeah.
the incredibly strange
Not
film.
not speed. Not speed. Slow. Because he
Yeah,
says to
yeah,
him,
yeah.
"Don't
It's
speed."
slow. That's it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We
Yeah.
fight him. We train
Hang
him
on a minute. Yeah.
almost every day. That one. Yeah,
Brilliant.
yeah. Well, and that's it. I think with like we're fortunate to still have him around, and touch wood that continues for some time to come. And I think he still has something good to offer. And even these films. And I'll give you an example, Steve. Like Vanguard. Okay, have you seen Vanguard?
You know what? I'm gonna have to do real truth on this. I didn't make it through it.
Right. That's fine, mate. That's fine. Don't worry.
I didn't do it. I couldn't make it. Couldn't make it. I tried. I went, oof. Even as soon as it started, I went, oof, don't like this. New
Yeah.
Chinese stars and whatever.
Yeah.
And I went, yeah, but I'll give it a chance. They might be
Yeah.
brilliant. I
So
tried, but once I fell asleep, which is normal. That's normal. I didn't fall asleep because it was Vanguard. That's normal. But once I fell asleep, what I normally do is pick it up again. That one I haven't picked it up again. It's been ages. So you know
yeah.
what? I haven't seen it all the way.
Right. So Vanguard, Kung Fu Yoga, two films.
I
Okay.
like
Two.
Kung Fu Yoga.
Yeah. Two quite modern, two quite newish films in the last decade. Right. Vanguard. Yeah. I mean, Jackie's character. It's not great. He doesn't get to smile once in the whole film. It's just yeah. It's not as you know. It's not a great film at all. But there's one moment in that film. There's one
Right.
moment that made all of that film worthwhile for me, the consumer, the Chan Man fan, and that
Let's go.
was the scene where he gets in the vehicle. I think it's when they've just been chased and is it the tasers or even I haven't watched it many times, but he gets into the 4x4 and he does a roll over the bonnet.
I've
He
seen
either
it.
gets
That's
it,
towards the beginning. That's not far into it, is it?
yeah, it's in like the first quarter.
Yeah, so I think I've actually seen that scene that you're talking about. I
Yeah,
remember
he
that.
does. He either climbs out of the 4x4 and does a roll over the bonnet, or it's the other way. I can't remember, but
Yeah.
it's that. Right, okay. That move, that one thing is who we know. That is Jackie. Right. It's
So
them insignificant moments. It's Crime Story. You've got the bamboo bits going up the theatre thing when he's trying to catch the baddies in Crime Story. And what's the best scene in that film? The best moment in that fight scene is when he jumps through the bamboo hole. It lasts
right.
one
Yeah.
second. 1 second,
Mm,
jumps through.
yeah. Yeah.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
That's it.
See in
I
chat,
think I like
and
the
if I
back
only get,
backflip at the water
yeah,
cooler.
in
The backflip
one of
at the
these
water cooler was
films, if I just see one move that man pulls
that's
off that still makes me think, yes, that's it. That's worth the price for me. I've got what I needed, right?
it.
But
Brilliant.
I got what I needed. Kung Fu Yoga, okay. I got quite a lot
Liked
from
it.
Yoga, actually. The only thing
I
I'm
like
not
that.
keen on, yeah, the only thing I'm not keen on is obviously the lion car chase stuff. I
I
could have
liked
left that.
that.
Did you like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
I remember telling my bro, I said, Kung Fu Yogi. He went, oh, that's got to be a crap one in it. I said, no, I really enjoyed it. I said, there's this, and it's so weird that we have, that's what appeals to some people. But I went, there's a brilliant scene with a lion in the back of the car, and I was laughing my head off. I really liked it.
Oh, good. Perhaps I need to give it another appreciation. Now I've heard something positive about that film. Perhaps I need to go away and have another thing.
I
But
enjoyed that one.
just before that scene, Steve. So as that scene kicks off, he's being pursued, isn't he? He's had that fight in the lobby area of like the security people and stuff. Which again,
Mm.
there's some good little moves of a suitcase, and that he's showing us he can still flick the limbs around, right?
That's it.
He, he runs out of the hotel place, the reception, and you get outside, and there's like that suitcase holder thing, and he does a jump through the gap of the suitcases, and he jumps out through to get into the vehicle. That was one of their moments. That's the
See?
moments we love, and that was a thumbs up from me. That's we still he still got it. He can still do it. That's good enough for me, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the same with Kung Fu, not Kung Fu Panda, Panda Plan. I've already seen with the trailer. Their moments are there. Their moments are there still. Yeah.
Yeah. I've
So
seen. Yeah.
I can forget the other stuff. Look, it's 2024. The guy is 70 years old. Through his own words alone, I remember watching an interview with Jackie Chan quite a few years ago. And it was quite a sad moment, actually, because he said in this interview that he no longer considers himself like a role model or an icon to
Mm.
millions of people
Okay.
because he understands, that them days have gone, but now he can do stuff for himself and he can make films that he wants to make and characters he wants to play. And he says it kind of like took that pressure off a bit now that actually he's got nothing to prove. And I think it's quite sad when you hear your hero say that, they're no longer, that figure in everyone's forefront. But I think the fact that he's 70, the fact he can still move, and I know people say, well, he wouldn't have it in him to do a full tongue shaped movie anymore, and
Yeah.
maybe they're right. Perhaps he probably definitely couldn't do what he could used to do 100%. But I've still seen that man move behind the scenes, and
Yeah.
sometimes his TV adverts and the behind the scenes stuff that doesn't make the movies are some of the best of him still. You
Right.
watch things that don't make the movie, and you think this guy's still incredible. He's still moving. The cast have got wires and stuff on them, and sometimes he hasn't, and he's doing things to demonstrate. And it's yeah. I remember watching the Lego Ninjago movie thing,
Right.
um, and the special features on that Blu-ray, and it had him behind the scenes helping design some of the action choreography for the Lego figures and stuff.
Yeah.
And he was in he was in his tracksuit, I think, and he was in there was mats around, so I think he was in like a gymnasium or something, and he was doing these kung fu bits, and it was incredible still to see him like that. And sometimes the best of it doesn't make the movies.
Mm.
So I generally think that guy has still got it in him. Yeah, he's still got it. He's still got that edge. He's still got them moments. He lets us know enough to know that he can still do something for us.
That's what I was going to say when you said it about those moments, the jumping through the suitcase and all those things that you brought up there. I, I think when you were saying it, I hadn't thought of it before, but when you said it there, I thought, I think he's doing it on purpose. I think that is. He knows that we know. He knows how much people love the guy. He knows it, right? He
Yeah,
knows the impact he's had, and to me, he's just saying, "Here's a little sprinkling of it still for you guys." That's what it feels like. The way you
yeah,
explained it, that's what it feels like.
yeah, 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 definitely. So
Yeah,
I mean,
I love it.
but at the same time, I also, like others, I really love the serious Jackie Chan. I always have done. I think he's brilliant in Dragon Fist. That was probably the first
Ah, yeah,
example of
yeah.
no nonsense Chan. Crime Story is, again, for me, not everyone's cup of tea, but for
No, I
me,
love it.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, it's up there for me. It's in
Mm,
my top tier Chan Crime Story, because I think
yeah,
the scenes that do have the fights, he really delivers. He delivers
yeah,
well in that
yeah.
TV lob. You see that TV that gets lobbed?
Yeah, that's right. But I told you I like the bit when the water cooler he does a backflip. Don't he
Yeah.
do like?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
like
that's it.
that
Yeah,
somersault
yeah.
bit. Yeah.
The kick,
See?
little back, and then in the
Yeah,
face.
yeah. See? But this is the thing. So when I watched Crime Story, it was years ago when obviously I was in the flow of all Chans, new next Chan, next Chan, next Chan, next Chan, and of course initially I went, "Hang on a minute, this ain't a fights Chan." But the film was good. I think it's based on a true story as well, isn't
Yeah,
it? So it was just a good film that had Chan in it. Like
yeah,
Shinjuku Incident and all that. That was when he was a lot older. So I didn't
yeah,
expect him to be Kung in that. I just thought, oh, this is a good Hong Kong film. Just so happens that Chan is in it. But
yeah.
with Crime Story, I wanted police story. Don't you call it Crime Story and make him a police bloke and there's no fights and whatever and no escalators in it. I want power. But
Yeah.
pretty quickly, once that film ended, I went, yeah, but this was still a brilliant film. And that's it.
Right. It was a great film.
Yeah.
Great film.
So I like that as well. Yeah.
Another, I'm going off on one now, mate. Another observation I've had of Jackie over the years is sometimes he can look, not he doesn't, but his fighting style is sometimes, he's not concentrating so much on the technique of the moves all the time, more like he's just getting them limbs out there and just doing what he needs to do. But there's certain films where he looks ultra slick and ultra smooth, and there's just something about like he. And I've narrowed it down as to what it is. There's something about when he wears either muscle fit black clothes, like vesty stuff, or leggings, or something combative. It really suits him in his fighting style. So it kind of started, I guess, with like you look at Wheels and Mills when he fights Benny the Jet. He looks
Mm.
awesome in that.
Yeah.
He looks a business, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And
Sharp, tight,
sharp.
real fighting, slipping
Yeah,
punches, real,
he's
like stuff, real
yeah,
stuff where you'd go, oh, he's actually brought himself up to the real
yeah,
kickboxer level, like Benny the Jet level, and gone,
yeah.
well, look,
He's
that's your thing. That's your thing. You're the best at this. And he brings himself up to that level, adds in
yeah,
a bit of the kung, bit of the
yeah.
acrobats, bit of the move, and like you say, smooth.
Yeah,
Definitely.
smooth. It's yeah, right. Twinkle Twinkle Lucky Stars. The fight.
Yes,
He's
brilliant.
wearing the black vest with Andy Lau and Yun Biao and the black
Yes.
leggings.
Yeah,
Just
it's got
really
skin tight
smooth. All
leggings.
the
Yeah.
moves. Swift, smooth. Just the movement. All clean,
Yeah.
very clean. Looks so light on the feet. Yeah. Where else? There
True.
was other examples. And even going back to more recently, the medallion, right? Okay. Not the best
Yeah.
Chan, obviously,
Yeah.
but I like the first half of the medallion before his character's killed and it goes all fantasy. But
Understood. Yeah.
that introduction again in the black combat clothes under the sewers, and also some of the scraps on the boats and the docks and stuff in the combative clothes, really good, really sharp, really smooth.
Yeah, I don't remember that film because obviously I watched it once and I literally watched it once. There's been a few Chans that have had once. Now that's been re-released. Don't know
Mm,
why they brought that out, but the fact that I don't have it, the re-release, but the fact that they have, that means that I will at some point watch it again. Because I'll
yeah,
get that version and I'll bang it on again. But yeah, I don't have good memories of that film. There ain't many that I don't have good
yeah,
memories of, but there's a few where I go, all right, I've seen that one now.
yeah,
Tuxedo was another one,
yeah,
but other ones I thought were good. Other crap ones I like Spy Next Door and all that. I like those crap ones. They're good.
That's
So
good fun. That's Jackie Chan's take on Uncle Buck for me. That's
yeah,
the Jackie Chan
yeah,
Uncle Buck.
yeah. I'm all good with that. Whatever it is,
That's
Doubtfire,
it.
and and there's one with The Rock. That's another one where he's, I don't know, babysitting, and there's a Vin Diesel babysitting film. It's just one of those babysitting films. What's it? The Pacifier in it and all that. Yeah, that's
Oh, I'm
another one.
sorry, mate, I don't know. I'm going to
Vin
quote
Diesel in
my
it. I'm just saying that there's a lot of those around that time. There was a lot of those
yeah,
Doubtfire reigniting those films, and I didn't have a problem with that one. It was all right.
yeah. To quote my family, Paul doesn't watch normal films.
That's it. That's it. That's it. Oh yeah, but they're watching Saw and stuff like that. People getting mashed up and whatnot. It's like, well, I don't watch normal films. Have you seen what you're watching? Yeah, I think they've become pretty normal. But listen, I'm happy to take that because you know what? You're right, because we said this right towards the start. If you're watching a normal Hollywood action film and even a Hollywood martial arts film, you're watching a Van Damme and then you're watching a Police Story or Dragon Lord Young Master, whatever the old ones we were saying, then you're right. I'll take that. You're right. They ain't normal. And I'm happy with that because normal ain't cutting it for me. Yeah. We need
Yeah,
this. Yeah. It's the best.
exactly. Yeah,
So that, I mean, I could finish it, but I can't because you said, you said to me
yeah.
that the
I
first
probably need a
low,
toilet soon.
yeah, well,
I've
it's all
got
right soon. Hold on, not yet. The first, you can go and we just come back. But the first low way you said was a new Fist of Fury, and then you also mentioned there Dragon Fist, and I can't remember what podders it is now, but on one of the podders recently, not come out version yet, I said that these low way films are important to have because we have all this chat about, oh, he didn't know how to use him. I know it was on the Rodney one where we're talking about To Kill with Intrigue, right? That's why that came up. And don't know how to use him, and until he got snake and drunken, then he could see the true Chan come out and all that. And from that point, once Chan took control and he became popular and he had a bit of say and whatnot, he could do whatever he wanted. And then you saw that mold of him start to come out and go, okay, this is Jackie Chan. But it was a good period. First off, he can't just enter the film industry and do whatever he wants. So let's just say a bit of reality here, right? He's going to be everyone is controlled by someone because they just work there, and that's
mm,
what he was doing, just working there. But you saw glimpses of stuff as he started to get a bit of control or get a handle on the choreography, or I'll do this and I'll do that. You saw it, but as you said with Dragon Fist, if we didn't have those low way films, we wouldn't have a straight Kung like Dragon Fist. We wouldn't have it, and it's
yeah,
brilliant. So
yeah,
I mean, it's straight. It's a straight Kung.
yeah,
Chan wouldn't have done it. No, no. Well, there you go. If he wouldn't have done that, then I'm glad we had that period because first off, it's your learning period. It's getting your foot in your door, your feet under the table, getting putting your toe in the water, whatever it is what you want to say about it. But that gives you wicked stuff like that, straight Kung, which
yeah,
maybe he wouldn't have done, and it's
yeah,
fantastic.
yeah.
Love
Great
that.
hands in that. Great hands in that.
That's it, mate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
speed.
that's a bit of
The
Phoenix and all
speed.
that going on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
speed.
speed.
Yeah.
Amazing.
He
Uh,
tried to tell Jonathan Ross, didn't he? He said, not,
yeah.
not speed to flow. Yeah. Wicked, man. Well, good. Now, listen, shall we look? All right. We don't need to crush it all in, right?
Nah,
Because
we can come back.
we don't need to. Let's leave it there. I don't want to, but let's be sensible about this, right? Because we both knew that, yeah, my tea's cold and
Next
warm.
time,
Yeah.
I'm going to bring my flask
Yeah, because mine's freezing.
and my overnight clothes.
That's it, mate. Look,
We do your first
that's it.
sleepover. We could do a sleepover podcast. We could put Police Story in the background, get our sleeping bags, and have a
Fantastic.
chat.
Yeah, brilliant. Why not? Who wouldn't do that? Who wouldn't want to watch that? If I want to, you want to, then everyone must want to, right? Who cares? Just do it. But look, like I said, I was going to say we'll be sensible, but we haven't been sensible. But I was never intending to be sensible. So I haven't been. But thanks very much for doing this. Thanks very much for coming on. Seriously, though, I really do appreciate all your help and support with the channel and letting people know about it because you don't have to be doing that stuff. It's already good enough that you consume it and give me feedback and chat to me about it. That's already brilliant. But you post stuff for me and everything. You're the best, man. I really appreciate that as well. So
Thank you.
thanks.
Yeah, no, and thanks to you as well, mate. Thanks for having me on. I know we've spoken about it for quite a while. It's been in the talks and the makings, and it's my own fault because I said it to you in the message that I kind of wanted that perfect moment. You know, I wanted to. I knew you love Snake and Crane, so I thought I need to get all my Snake and Crane gear together and really. But it wasn't going to happen quickly. So I thought we just need to crack on and chat.
It's true. I know exactly what you mean. I do that all the time and go, well, it's not right because of this, because of that, because of this. But eventually I go, oh, well, no one's going to know any different. Like you say, I ain't going to know no different. Of course, it would have been brilliant, but it's brilliant regardless. And you shouldn't have mentioned backgrounds because, of course, all I've been wanting to do, we've mentioned the two tapes down there. They were very strategically placed. But you think I don't want to mention I can see the spiritual, the karate Ghostbusters. I see spiritual kung fu poster there. But what's
Right,
that
yes.
thing hanging off the door handle? Yeah, I can see old Chan version.
Oh,
But what's
that's
hanging off
the
the door handle? And how is that staying up?
wow, magic. It's actually just resting on the handle.
Bloody brilliant! Imagine if someone walked in. I know you probably know that they ain't gonna, but
Yeah,
it could
yeah.
be. It could be. You've got spiritual kung fu right there. It could be a ghost walks in and knocks that over.
Yeah, we've got spiritual kung fu there. Yeah, this is Tim Hollingsworth.
I do. Yeah,
Yeah, Tim, great
he's an
guy.
unreleased podders. He's coming though.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one. That's his design from the Jackie Chan group, the Jackie Chan Appreciation Group. He did a poster design for it. He helps do my logos and bits and bobs.
Brilliant.
So yeah, love it.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Well, I've had chats with him, so now I know what stuff he does. Makes his own lobby cards and
Yeah,
all that. But
yeah,
yeah,
brilliant guy.
excellent. Yeah,
Like everyone that you speak to and we meet in this community. Rodney, Tara, Tim, just decent, great guys, down to earth, easy to talk to. It feels like you've known everyone like your whole life.
I know, I know. We have that connection, from the films and everything. But even so, sometimes it does surprise me. I'm getting used to it. But it's like, what, another brilliant bloke. What's going on? So, yeah. But I said to someone the other day, someone sent me. This is another thing. Sometimes you get these really nice messages, and a guy sent me a message the other day telling me I've been watching the channel, the stuff you're doing, and I'm really, really enjoying it. I love it. It's just like you're chatting to your mate. That's what he said, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And I said to him, "Well, I'm glad you feel that way." I said, "Thank you for sending me a message, because you don't have to take the time to watch anything, let alone send me a message about it." I said, "But I'm glad you feel that way because that's what it feels like to me. It's not what I'm trying to do, but that is what it feels like. It feels like I'm just chatting to a mate." And I said, "It
yeah,
turns out that these are just friends that I don't know yet. That's all. So that's what you are, Paul.
yeah.
You're a friend that I just didn't know yet. That's all."
Well, exactly. Well, you've only got to look. I mean, we've been recording now for about 2 hours and 2.5 hours nearly. We've been chatting, and it feels like we've just been chatting for about 10 minutes. You know,
There you
and
go.
if
Yeah,
I'd met you, if I was doing the school run this morning, and I'd met you like the old the school parents catch up and have a chat, and we were talking at the side of the road, we'd probably still be talking at the side of the road now. Um, Saying the same old stuff as we're saying right now. It goes back to it's just like chatting to a mate. It's just having a chat about something that
wicked.
we're both passionate about.
That's right. And this is what I like. That's why a lot of the times now I'll say to people, they'll do chats about things and I go, "Oh, save it, podders," because now it's nice that we can air this stuff. And it isn't because there'll be loads of people that watch it. But for example, you had a connection with it and now we're chatting. So it has created this little thing where I just want all of us guys to have
That's it.
somewhere to come on and have a chat about it. So that's brilliant because that's what I wanted. But I really like that feel, and now we can just record it, and it's like a history thing for us, to just go. We have these chats, but we just press record. And, I forget that there's a camera there. I forget all of it. I don't worry about any of it. I just press record, and then we have a chat, and that's what it is. And I'm just glad we are able to do it.
Great,
So yeah,
great. Well, I always love your stuff, mate. I've always, as soon as I see you upload a video, which, if I'm right in thinking, I think you upload on a Wednesday. Wednesday seems to be your day. You do an upload today.
No. That must be coincidental
Right.
because I don't have an upload day. That's why it's so sporadic. So I
Oh,
don't know
perhaps
why
it's
it's
just a
Wednesday with it.
coincidence. Perhaps it's just a
It's
coincidence.
definitely a
But I
coincidence.
look,
Yeah. I didn't
I
even
always
know.
look forward to it, mate. As soon as I see there's a new one landed, I think, good. Now I'm going to boil the kettle. I'm going to get comfy, and I'm going to enjoy this. And I always do. They've always been great. Real good fun, mate. So keep it up.
Thanks,
Top
man.
work.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that more than you can know. This stuff, as much as I enjoy it, it's massively, massively time consuming. Whether it shows or not, I put a lot of effort into it. That's why I don't post videos all the time. I could come off of here and upload this video instantly if I wanted to. I'm not going to because obviously there's things I'm going to want to do for this video. So I appreciate you saying that to me because it means a lot. But I'm going to do it anyway, but it's nice. Will you? Yeah. So thanks.
You're going to put it how you're going to put it out how Ultimate Fight Clan want it to be put out. This is the
It,
original export put out you're putting out, mate.
see, the thing is, I know it's funny, but it's true. It's true because you're right. The thing I will say about people and films and whatever it is they do, I go, you got to make it for you first. Make it for you first, and then if other people like and appreciate it, brilliant. But really, ultimately, one person needs to be happy with it, and that's yourself. And of course, I'm not talking about perfection because it's never perfect. There's always bits where I go, oh, I wanted to do that, but I couldn't manage it, whether it be the software or the skills or whatever it is. I go, I can't do it. I want to do that, but I can't make it happen.
Sure.
Or I didn't think about it. There's never perfection, but it's always as happy and as good as I can do at that moment in time with whatever equipment or knowledge I've got. So yeah, and if other people like it, then that is wicked. Don't get me wrong, that's the icing on top. But I
Yeah, yeah.
have to be happy enough with it.
Great
I'm
stuff, mate.
never gonna.
Great stuff. And I
Yeah, and if
look
I'm
forward
doing chat,
to
I'm never gonna be happy. Yeah.
yeah, look forward to coming back, mate.
Well, listen, I'm glad that you want to come back,
Well,
considering this experience. I'm
you know
glad it's
what I
been good
really
enough to
want?
want to come back.
You know what I really want? I want to pick the bones out of some covers and stuff. And these quizzes, I like this stuff.
But that's good. I'm glad that you do. If you remember when I got that Stephen A. John for that gorgeous covers one, he had no clue. He just told me, strangely enough, oh yeah, gorgeous. When I asked him on Podders, so it's there if you want to see it. What's your favorite film? He said gorgeous, and then he said to me at the end of that, "Did you do all this because you think that's my favorite film?" I went, "Yeah, that's right." And he went, "Well, it's not. It's Miracles." I was like, "But you told me."
Brilliant.
I said, "Well, hang on though, but that's not what you told me." I said, "But it's no problem." But you could see I had no clue. I just went, "I'm going to try this with this fella," right?
Yeah, yeah.
Put it on, loaded it up. There you go. There's a tie cover, and he went, "Yeah, don't like it." And I just sat there and went, "Right, was that it?" Yeah. And he was like, "Oh, what? You want more?" Because he don't know what I want, right?
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
went,
sure.
"Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's go. Let's more." But you could see how he ended up
Yeah,
unraveling, being
yeah, yeah.
really into
You,
it, and
yeah,
that was good.
you put him into that scene and he couldn't help but explore it.
It's true. It all came out.
You took the
It
wrapper off
all
the
came
sweet,
out.
mate.
It's like no. Yeah, there's no time limits. You can
Yeah,
you can look at this. You
you
can
got
do and analyze that cover as long as you want. And his head started to hurt, and he put his glasses on to sort it out. But he told me, I loved it. I really
yeah,
enjoyed it. I don't get to
that's it.
speak to anybody about this stuff, so
Yeah,
I loved
you
it.
got
I hope you enjoyed this and thought it was all right and not too much of a waste of your time.
oh no, not absolutely loved it, mate. You know, this is the purple quality street. This is all good,
And
mate.
that's
This is we'll be back. We'll be back.
brilliant. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot for coming on. I can't
Love it.
wait to
Thanks,
see
mate.
you do more chats. That's kind of like, I don't know, it goes where it goes. That's sort of like an intro chat to you, really, even though it kind of ended up on loads of other things. But I'll try and come up with some ideas of some specific stuff and we will analyze and chat about it for as long as we want. No
Sounds good.
rules. Brilliant. Thanks,
Thank,
mate. Again, wicked bloke, brilliant, supportive fella. I couldn't, thank you any more for that. So yeah, I hope you feel the same. But for me, friend that I'd never met that I've now met. So wicked. Thanks, man.
Definitely. Over and out, mate.
Yeah, best ever.
Take care.
Whoa! I need the adjustment. Right, I forgot. I've got a little bow in there as well. Brilliant, mate. Thanks a lot.
Take it easy, mate. Speak to you soon.
Yeah, see you soon, man.
Na 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 na. Dun 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 dun. Is that the one? I'm not going to do my Chinese singing.